I completely
got my top on
I forgot
and
about
I got my
that.
Turn it this way, so
But-
got you guys.
Oh, there.
But let's try not to drag it off.
No.
I got my
You know what I
1
mean?
point.
I have mine. I don't need it
Oh,
on me.
really?
So yeah,
Oh,
if you want,
okay.
you can put it on yourself if you want.
No.
All right.
Was biting me?
Yes, and I killed it.
So
You can hear them.
I did for one yesterday.
You can. Yeah, it's my favorite part. With the
Okay,
dust
so
and
let's-
everything.
let's do Diddy as the last one before random. Or do you want to start that off first? Since it's fresh in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Hot topic. We'll start with that. It's the
Yeah,
hot
let's start with
topic,
the
and then we'll go to whatever it is. You know what I mean?
All set? Okay, welcome to another episode of We All We Got, the podcast. Yeah. Hosted by my best friend here, DJ H2O.
Oh, I feel so loved. I feel so loved.
I'm your one and only Crispy Brown.
The real CB.
We got special guests up in the building.
Our very first guest
Amen.
on our podcast. And yes, they're ladies.
There you go. There you go. So I'm
We
gonna
don't discriminate.
So I'm going to introduce you to them all. This is Special K. Round of applause for Special K joining us for the first time. We got Prep Eagle to my left, also joining us for the first time. And to our right, we got Jazzy joining us for the first time. So we're humbled.
For all you young folks out there.
We're humbled. We're grateful to have you three beautiful, intelligent women on our show. We look forward to having your opinions voiced. And again, don't be shy. Speak what's on the top of your brain. Don't hold back. And we're here to discuss culture,
Yeah, we got
society.
editing for the stuff you don't want. So
There we go.
just let it go, and then we can deal with it later.
Anything that's on your mind, speak up. Don't hold back. Okay?
Okay.
All sounds good?
Yes.
All right. First topic. What do we got? We're going to start off with,
Well,
of course, it's on everybody's mind.
the hot case that everyone has been following.
The
Mr.
diddler,
Bad Boy himself,
P. Diddy.
Mr. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever he goes
Whatever
by,
he goes by.
Daddy Love, Love this, Love that, Oil me up. whatever he wants to be called. So, I guess, ladies, what's your opinion on, I'll say the verdict? Or
So,
the 2 out of 5 he was convicted on?
So let's set it up. So for those that don't know, that haven't been following it, Diddy was convicted on 2 of the less serious charges that he was charged with, which was prostitution, and I forgot the other one, but he's not going to jail for life, pretty much. So that was what was...
Still get jail time.
He's still going to
but
get jail
not-
time, but the general consensus was that he was expected to go to
yeah.
jail forever for the rest of his life. That's not going to happen. For all those people that were voting against Diddy and for him to be banished into oblivion, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. He might get a few years here and there, but he was
I heard he
convicted
could
of
still
the...
get like 20.
But here's
With
my-
these convictions.
Well,
Yeah.
But
He
here's
may
my
be.
question though.
Yeah.
If Diddy was white,
Hmm.
would he be serving the same jail time? Because Diddy's a freak.
Hmm.
There's a lot of other freaks out there. And how were you even trying to charge him with racketeering when he was the only
Only one.
person that was charged?
So
Right? So is he guilty of being a freak? Absolutely. Is he guilty of some of the other stuff? Who knows?
So
But if he was white, he would have been out of jail already. But because he's a black man who was powerful,
Or it wouldn't have been in the news as heavy because Weinstein wasn't in the news
I was
as
just about to say
heavy,
that. That's right.
right?
That's right.
Even though I think he was convicted,
he
it's
was
not
convicted.
like, I don't even know how long he's gone for. I know nothing about the case except that, yeah, he had some had a bunch of charges, and then he was convicted, and that's it. You don't hear anything about that case.
Correct.
I mean, you could even go deeper, and I hate to play the devil's advocate, but I think his financial status also plays a role in that. Because I can...
Who, Weinstein? Or
No,
Diddy?
Diddy's. Because I can also say as a rebuttal,
Well, yeah,
right,
we know that.
if he was poor, if he didn't have the financial resources, would he even...
Get less
Would he get less time? You know what I mean? Would he, because they're thinking of him getting only 2 to 5 years. You understand? If somebody didn't have money, like if somebody was just a regular Joe off the street, they're looking at pretty much life in jail. Like
Correct.
he had the resources to afford these lawyers to get this limited time if he's going to go to jail.
But here's the other thing too, right? So if Diddy wasn't Diddy, I'm not saying he's completely innocent because
he's
he
not.
did some bad things
Oh, yeah.
along the way. And, I got to hold him up for Pac. But anyways, that wasn't part of the trial.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was a white man, he would not be facing these lengthy jail times. And we need to be real, and we need to say, because of the color of his skin, because of the amount of money he has, I just think he pissed somebody off along the way,
They
and
said
this
that.
is the result of it, right?
It was the whole the liquor thing,
liquor
the
license.
whole liquor case with him feeling like they weren't putting his stuff out there, putting it out, or selling it as well as the other ones.
Yeah, I think from again,
They didn't like that.
don't quote me on this, but I think he wanted to create his own avenue and wanted to be separate from that other organization that he was teamed up with, right?
Correct.
So he wanted to create his own alcoholic beverage on his own name, on his own terms. And I think when he wanted to do that, when he started to do that, these guys said, you know what? No, you're going to stick with us.
But see, there's a trend that I'm noticing. Any black man who levels up to
Yeah.
a spot that white America doesn't think
Right.
that they should be, they come tumbling down. So let's talk about Bill Cosby. Let's even go into Shannon Sharp right now, right? And then you've got Diddy. Every time a black man reaches a certain status, he needs to walk on eggshells, or somebody's gonna bring him down.
I think it's when they try to pass the white man. Kind of basically what you're saying, right? Like, they're cool with you being here, but the moment you're like, and they know it, that wait, he has the people with him, whoever it is. Now, if they try and go above us, they'll do it, and they don't want this. This is what they don't want. That's why when you get here, they're like, oh, and all of a sudden,
So is it
something.
the same mentality as House Nigger feels that you can't go past those
Yeah,
those
I think
stereotypes?
so, because they'll let you into the house as long as you're following what they're
The
doing,
rules.
and you're not trying to go past them or be
Be
above them.
Be controlled at any point.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
but that's.
In life, you're controlled.
But I feel that.
But let's not be naive to the fact that it's also, you can blame, I guess, the white man, quote unquote, but it's also our own fault that put us down to that level. Case in
Yeah.
point. Do you remember the interview with Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams?
Yes.
Cat Williams, which was a black man, he's a black comedian,
Mm.
he foretold that, listen, 2025 or 2024 are going to be the years that you're going to have a lot of secrets come out. A lot of these people are going to be exposed to the light. And he wasn't just focused on white celebrities. As a matter of fact, he was predominantly focused on black celebrities. He Diddy being one of them. So we can make the case that, the white people don't want us progressing or want us elevating, but it's also, we have to hold
Yeah,
our own feet to the fire.
but
that
that all does stem from them trying to hold us.
Of course, yeah.
Do you think that was a prediction, like somebody
No.
was speaking through him, that this
Nope.
is what was going to transpire?
No.
So then I'm going to ask you another question. Do you think, so we're talking about America, so is it the same thing in Canada, where as a black person, male or female, there's a ceiling, and once you get above that ceiling,
Yeah.
then there's reprobation, or you're going to be penalized, like the counselor in Vaughan, who was about to become mayor, but something came out about him, so he couldn't run in the election.
That's what it is.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. You listen. You want to speak on that?
Go ahead.
You raise a very good point, right? But I also think that there's also and you can disagree, but there's also a stigma where we as black folks think that, listen, and this has to change, by the way.
Absolutely.
We can only reach this level because we know there's nothing else for us above that, right? Because we've been put down for so long by so many other ethnic groups, we think that, okay, you know what? I reached this plateau. I don't think we're going to go much higher. And I don't think that should be the case.
But I want to challenge you.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are our own worst enemies
Facts.
because the East Asian community, they support each other.
Absolutely.
The Filipinos and the Chinese, every other ethnicity support each other. When a black person goes up, there's a black person trying to pull them down because they don't think, if it's not me getting to the top, I'm going to pull somebody else down. I got to be top dog. When can we all support each other as black males and females in this society and build each other up?
But you know where that stems from, though, right?
Don't tell me it's from slavery, because that's been gone for so many years.
Doesn't matter.
It's our own mentality.
Doesn't matter. It's ingrained in us. Let me tell you something.
There's been
100% in you.
the main slave, like how slavery was then, is gone. But it's the mentality. That's why we feel like when we get to a level, it's not that we can't go higher. It's that, someone's gonna stop us. Someone's gonna come for us. So let me just get to about here and stay cool here, which you shouldn't have to do. You
Right,
should
but I'm
keep
not.
going.
So I'll give you an
And
example.
that's where we all got to come together.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I was the first Black female to be a route supervisor. I went through criticism. I went through bullying. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to do this because there's going to be another Black girl or another brown girl coming behind me who's going to see me and make this possible. Then I moved to another division where I'm still the voice of people who can't be that voice. But we have to determine in ourselves that we're going to break that ceiling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many Black doctors do we know of? How many Black people are in the Guinness World Book of Records because they're the first? It's the mentality that we instill in our children and within ourselves.
So, in that aspect, I think that you have to wait for generations to change that narrative, right? Like,
And we need to be the first.
Let's start somewhere.
100%, right?
Yeah.
But you can't expect it to be right away.
Right away.
No,
Right?
but that,
And then, go ahead.
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot, especially now with society, someone wants to do something and want results right then and
That's
there.
right.
Boom.
And it's not going to happen.
Right.
Like,
We're in that
whatever-
microwave generation.
Whatever we want to happen for us isn't going to happen in our generation.
It
But
might
we
not
got to
even
start
happen
it.
in our
We got to
kids'
start it now.
generation.
It's like your boy Pac said, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He. What was it? The spark. He may not be the one to start it, but he might spark the
Yeah.
mind to start. So we just keep doing what we need to do. Someone might see it and be like, "Hey, I like that. Let me continue it." And as you said, we cannot worry about white man or whatever man is above.
That's right.
Stop
It's
it.
a white man, honey.
You know they're gonna say stuff.
All
You know
the
stuff's
time.
gonna come
Because
out.
because back in the day, like you can't say like Rosa Parks she had the same mentality as you,
Yeah.
right? Someone at some generation has to start a trend somewhere, right? So it takes that quote unquote leader or that person to start that trend. Because if you didn't speak up, right? If Rosa Parks didn't speak up, if all these people never spoke up, then we would have still stayed in that box,
Bubble.
that bubble,
Absolutely.
right? So I promote what you're doing, but I think that it makes more, we need more of a collective group to start their individual trends to change the narrative that, listen, there's many plateaus that we can reach, right? There's not a ceiling and that's it,
Right.
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, absolutely.
going back to the whole Diddy thing, to your original topic, I don't think it boils, me personally, I don't see it as a black and white. I more or less see it as either you're rich or you're poor. You can either afford to get off
Rich and poor, but
or you can't.
there is the black and white when you get
There's
to
the
rich.
black and white and rich and
It's in there no matter
It's
what.
No,
No matter
I
what,
agree,
it's always in there.
Because
but
if
you
it
have
was
to.
you with the baby oil doing all of that
Sure,
stuff, you
sure.
would have been in jail for life.
Cool, but if I didn't have the money to afford those
Most
lawyers,
people wouldn't care.
Oh, yeah,
right.
absolutely.
But if I didn't have the money like P Diddy to afford all those lawyers, would I be seeing 1 or 2 years?
No.
Hell no. So you have to put money as a factor.
No, money is a factor, but we're saying
Absolutely.
they both go together when you get to that level, right? But the thing is, should you really what?
Should money be the
Why?
factor when you're a criminal?
Absolutely not.
Mhm.
Morally speaking, absolutely not.
Mhm.
If he's a freak, he's a freak. There's a lot of freaks out there. It's not put in the
He's
public limelight.
Freak with the.
And the thing is, it's funny because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we knew this. Oh, you knew this about Diddy. Oh, we seen this. Oh, there was all this."
No one
But
said
no
anything.
one tried to stop it.
Right, everybody went to the all-white parties.
Everyone
and they knew
loved
what
it.
the all-white parties were about.
And you allowed it because there's other people in the industry doing the same thing.
You're right.
Everyone knew about the party. Doesn't Jay-Z has his white parties every year? Watch. When they're really ready to go at him, all of a sudden you're going to hear stuff that were happening at these white parties. All of a sudden now it's a big deal that is happening. But right now, it's not a big deal. Why is it not a big deal now?
I'm not asking around to
Jay-Z ain't trying to really,
Jay-Z's trying to stay under the radar because he separated himself from Diddy.
or he's
right?
making his moves, but he's not trying to keep it quiet.
Absolutely.
Because that was Diddy's problem, putting it out there that he was going for the companies.
Mhm.
If he didn't, none of this would have been
But
coming
okay,
out.
but you can look at Jay-Z and Rihanna. How old was Rihanna when she started?
Yeah,
I'm just
but there's a
leaving
lot
that
of them.
right there. Yeah,
There's a lot of them that are
I'm just leaving that one right.
and I
where
know
it
they
is.
have the story with her in the office saying how, oh, you're not leaving here. The only how you're leaving out here is through the window kind of thing. And it's now people want to make a big deal about it, like, oh my God, that's so this and that.
But why do you think
Who doesn't
Rihanna's
talk
not?
like that?
But
He wasn't really serious about going. He's just saying, yo, we want to sign you.
Mhm.
and you're not leaving this office. If you're leaving, you're going out the window. That's the only how you're leaving.
But why do you think Rihanna hasn't put out any more music? She went into her fashion. She went into something else because she doesn't want to have that stigma and everything else
Or just
attached to it, and with Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? But
I think a lot of the artists though will leave the music if something else is popping for them. They'll put it on the back burner for a little bit and do it. Why? Because it's probably a little bit less work,
It's less
and
work.
you're making probably just as much or more than you going on tour. You got to practice, you got to rehearse, you got to do this, you got to do that, right? So
Let me ask a quick round table question. If you're Diddy's lawyer, starting with you, Special K, if you're Diddy's lawyer, what would you recommend he do as a public figure right now? Would you want him to stay quiet?
Jay-Z,
You don't want to put yourself in that position. Okay, if you're Diddy's lawyer, what would you recommend he should do right now? Stay out of the public eye, start to make some music, still be entertaining. What should he do? Go on a comeback tour? What should he do?
I think he should stay out of the public eye, concentrate on his family because his family's severely damaged, like his children and stuff, and just rebuild that relationship and then come out with something else after. Now's the time for him to fall back and reinvent himself.
Does he fall back permanently and just stick out of the public eye completely? And when you say reinvent himself, should he still reinvent himself behind the scenes, where like he comes out with, he can still do a liquor license or a liquor brand?
He has to be silent.
He has to be
He
silent.
has to be like a
Completely
silent partner.
silent
Completely
partner.
silent partner.
Don't show his face.
What I think he's going to do. This is what I think he's going to do for the public. He's gonna go into church, just doing things like organizing stuff, helping out his community, small things like that to get people's attention. Oh my God, he's changed. Oh, look at him doing something good, for himself, and then he's gonna try to get the audience back on his side.
Is that gonna help him? Do you think in the long run?
I don't think it will.
I mean, no, because people are gonna still talk. Oh, he's doing it for this, but his whole purpose is he's going to try.
Well, let's
do it, but don't have it put out.
That's what he's gonna do.
If someone else catches wind and they report it,
what he's gonna do is going to pay someone.
You can't do that.
He's gonna pay someone to record him.
But
leak it.
I don't think he'll pay someone to do it.
I do think so,
because he knows people are they're gonna do it on their own. He might. I don't think he has to pay someone. He has family. They'll do it themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll put it out there, whatever. But smart thing is to don't have family put it out there. Don't have no one you know. You kind of need the paparazzi to kind of put it out there for you. Someone who doesn't know you and connection to you that says, "Oh,
wow, he's doing something good.
He did this,
he's trying."
And even then, I think he needs to completely be silent.
He needs to
like
be washed in the blood.
5 to maybe 10 years,
and
do everything behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
You guys can say that though, but I'll give you an example. Look at Chris Brown. Everybody thought Chris Brown's career was completely.
But that's a whole different level. That's a different mentality. He's still young. When that stuff came
but
out.
it was a whole different it was a whole different scenario, and even Rihanna came out and said Chris Brown wasn't at fault for everything he did because she hit him first.
She attacked him.
But it was Chris Brown was also aligned by Diddy because Diddy didn't like him. Right, so it still goes back to Diddy if you go back into everything.
I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Both of us say he didn't like him because he tried to put them back together, or
No, he didn't, because it was Chris Brown didn't want to sign to his label.
But he let
and now Chris
is house with Rihanna to
because Rihanna was with Jay-Z, but when Chris was like, "I'm not signing to either one of the two of you," everything went south. And now you look today, Chris Brown owns the label, his rights to all of his music. Nobody owns him. He's his own independent self, and that's what they didn't want.
Okay, so long story short, no, we're gonna get to this. Is it okay to assume then that his way of his business acumen, his natural entrepreneurship, that part of P. Diddy isn't over?
No.
That's
what I'm saying. He's silent with it.
Yeah, it's
right?
not over.
He's still gonna be a moneymaker.
So his career, that's his norm.
So his career isn't done. Okay. So what would you do? What would you expect? What would you want? If you're his lawyer, what would you want him to do?
I don't really care what the lawyer wants him to do. It's your family. The lawyer is whatever, but it's your if he really wants it, you gotta let you got to do what your family wants, kind of thing. Right now, like I know his son makes the music here and there. He's got to get his. He's just got to stay quiet, man. Honestly, like, honestly, this is
Diddy, just shut up and be.
you gotta just stay in the cut,
Mhm.
stay in the back. If there's stories out about you, don't
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 rebut
say
them.
nothing. Don't
Yeah,
come-
let it die.
let them say what they want. Let all that. You got to stay silent for the next 5 to 10 years,
Yep.
right?
I
Remember,
agree.
remember your own quote. That Biggie said too. Bad boys move in silence. You gotta move in silence now, dog. That's what you gotta do. Stay quiet. Stay behind the scenes. Don't even come out. Even after 10 years, don't just stay. Let the people bring you back into the scene, if anything. But yo, you gotta.
And the one thing that we're
I don't know if he will because he's Diddy, but
Right.
hopefully he has learned. He's old now.
Mhm.
From when he
Older.
came in, older, whatever. In the rap game, you're old. By the time you're 30, you're old.
Mhm.
But yeah, he needs to just stay
Right?
in the
And
cut.
I think what the one thing that we're missing is when it comes to like, we as Canadians, we're forgiving people, right? But specifically when it comes to Hollywood figures in the States, they're very forgiving of these people. Like they're seen as icons, right?
Yeah.
They put them on a pedestal like they're almost, I hate to say it, but they're almost godlike.
Yeah.
Right? So they in the States, you can commit literally murder, and once time passes,
I've seen that.
you can still be praised as an icon and still live pretty much a good life.
Right, because everybody else's career is tied to that icon
Mhm.
because he provides all of these jobs for people to live off.
Mhm.
So wrong or right, they're still going to support him
Mhm.
because they're getting an income for their family.
Right.
So it's that double-edged sword right there, right?
And there's tons of celebrities in the States where, yeah, something will happen, but within the next few hours, a next celebrity's gonna do something stupid. And the
There you
next
go.
one, here, we don't have
All we have is Drake.
anywhere near that.
We have
Do
Drake.
do we have Drake?
No.
Wait, do we really have Drake the way they treat him?
No, we don't.
The only thing
And then we're gonna get mad when he doesn't want to do anything to all. He doesn't bring up Toronto or
But he does. Like he brings out the 416. He does the work he
it's
can.
because it's not being boasted. But
Right.
if he boasted it, people would have been like, "Oh, why does he?"
But
just
here's
keep
the thing.
quiet about it.
Drake also takes Canadian talent under his wings and he promotes them, right? So he puts them on tour with him. But because he's not American, the world isn't seeing it that way.
And because he's not literally putting the he's giving them the light
Right.
and putting
There
in
you
the work.
go. Exactly.
People want him to do everything. That's why they're, oh, how come you didn't put this guy on? How come this guy's not blowing up? Because maybe their music isn't that great.
Mhm.
Just because Drake likes you, that doesn't mean, or any celebrity likes you, doesn't necessarily mean you're just gonna blow. You're gonna blow up and be successful continuously through your career.
No.
You might have
because
your
there's
one
ups and
spot.
downs.
After they help you, you gotta keep it going. It's like someone gets you a job.
Mhm.
Cool, they got you the job. You gotta work now. Like, you have to actually do the work
Absolutely.
to stay there.
I can help you get through the door, but what you do after that is up to you.
Exactly.
Jazzy, what do you think? Jazzy, what do you think? What do you think of Jazzy? What do you think? What do you think Diddy should do?
What are the young people saying
What are
about
young
Diddy?
people saying? Because we're out of
First,
touch.
hold on. Before we even get there,
Right?
what do you know about Diddy?
I mean, I haven't been following the
Mhm.
story that much, but
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I think he should stay low.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've read like comments about this stuff, and I've heard some people say like, cause he's like so connected with like other like artists
Mhm.
who probably do the same thing or like who know about it.
Mhm.
That's like why the case ended the way it did,
That's right. That's right.
right? So like, I kind of yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So say we're using your age demographic as an example, right?
Okay.
So Diddy was he had a resume of signing young artists
Mhm.
who weren't really privy to what's written or educated onto what's written in their contracts, right?
Yeah.
If you're
Hold on.
you're
That's every label. But go
okay,
ahead.
that's fine. That's fine. Well, Diddy was more known
It
for
was more
that.
put out about Diddy.
Okay, fair.
That's all it was.
So at your age, right? If you want to start a music career, entertainment career,
Mhm.
knowing Diddy's history now, right? I know you're not too detailed on the case or what's
Yeah.
going on, but you have a general consensus of what's going on.
Yeah.
Knowing who Diddy is, would you, as a young, budding, up and coming artist, want to sign with Diddy's label?
No.
No. What if, why? Tell me why.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why. Bad boys, hard time.
But you're in the line. Like, did he?
Doesn't matter. It's our time. That's how they're gonna look at him. That's our time. Unless the label has young artists right now coming up making noise, they're only gonna look at it as, oh, okay, he has one young artist. All right, that's great.
No, but let me ask you this question. So you're a young artist and Diddy's gonna sign you and he's giving you 5 million per year and you have to produce 3 albums. Are you gonna sign with him?
Knowing his history.
Knowing his history.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Get yourself a great lawyer. Go through the fine print. That's what it is now. That's what it is now. It's not a matter of just signing one. Now you can hold stuff against you.
Exactly.
You know what to look for. You know, I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get a
that's
lawyer.
probably also why, like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to, I feel like he has a bad reputation. I mean, some people,
He does with that.
right?
So
A lot of
you would put his reputation over the 5 million? Let's be honest.
It might be
It's 5 million.
it might be
5 million
Yeah,
a year.
but you gotta know, is that 5 million yours? You gotta work. You gotta pay it back. You got things behind it.
Exactly. Like, I feel like,
It's more than what you're making now.
Yeah, it's still gotta.
But she
pay
can
it
make
back.
that. She can make that signing with someone else if she's that.
yeah,
good.
exactly. Like,
but
if,
nobody has
if
a name like Diddy.
Okay, but
Or
But
they're
that
the
name,
people
though, what is that
or
name
the
now?
resources.
What is that name worth
Diddy
now?
would really want me
Exactly.
that
You would have
bad,
signed R. Kelly.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
R.
His
Kelly,
name
if
is
R.
now
Kelly gets
gone
out.
down.
R. Kelly gets out.
Okay, I'm not the one.
He starts making music again.
I'm not the one being questioned.
You being questioned now. No, you being questioned.
No, ask the young one. You answer.
What do you know about R. Kelly?
You don't want to know about R. Kelly.
Do you know any of his music, or
Like-
do you just know that about a case?
I don't know anything.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, like, some of
That's
his,
what I can't ask.
You are probably a product of R. Kelly's music. You never know. Go back and ask your parents. Over your head.
yes, I mean,
You were conceived to some convicted people.
oh,
So she's like,
I
"Well,
can't.
I'm not sign up for this.
Not convicted people. People that were very good at making it.
R. Kelly was convicted people.
oh my God.
Just think in another context.
Yeah,
will just
Okay.
So you wouldn't sign to Diddy.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know.
That's fair. A lot of people wouldn't, so don't feel no ways about that.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're done with Diddy then.
Yeah.
Diddy done.
Diddy done. Done, Diddy done. Done, Diddy done.
What's next on
Okay,
the
so,
docket?
well, since we're on the Diddy and we're on the like entertainment, we'll keep. Look at the social aspects of life.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna have a little fun here.
Mhm.
All right. Which talk show back in the day was must-see TV? Okay, I'm gonna give you 7 options: Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, Oprah, Geraldo, Jenny Jones, Maury, Montel Williams. Now, before we continue, understand you don't need to partake in this. You probably don't know any of these except for Oprah. I don't even think you're able to. I don't even think you're able to watch any of these because they're all done, right?
On TV.
So you can just, listen up in this
Yeah.
portion if you'd like.
Yeah.
You can you can chime in and ask questions.
You missed
know?
you missed a good part of television. So,
Yeah.
you missed out.
I feel like I've seen, like, some clips, like, going through, like,
Jerry
online.
Springer?
Yeah.
You know that name?
Yeah. that one,
Okay.
yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry.
But, like, yeah, I don't know, like, anything about
Okay.
it. But, like, I'll listen.
There was something.
All right, so the veterans here.
Favorite talk show, bro. Favorite talk show. Come on, listen up.
Or out of those 7,
Out of that bunch.
you're like, oh, I'm
Which one you
definitely watching this.
What's it again?
Okay, we got Ricky Lake, Springer, Oprah, Geraldo, Jenny Jones, Maury, and
Maury.
Maury?
Maury was one of them.
Why?
I just
Want to
like
find
the
out who was the
reaction.
father, yeah?
Yeah. Of every time that one scene, you are not the father.
The track and field race behind the stage.
And on the ground, that was it for me. I was like, "Yup, this is the best show ever."
Did you
History.
think that majority of it was real, or was it majority theatrics?
Oh my gosh!
Did you
think
want
it's
to? Did you
half
want to
and half.
believe that it was real?
I think it is probably half and half.
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
I think all TV shows are. You have the real and then the over the top. Over the top,
Let me ask you
just to
something.
keep it going.
Keep it on Murray, but let me ask you. Did you find fault more on the women or on the males when it came to that? You are not the father. You are the
Oh,
father.
100% the woman, because I mean,
Really?
you do know
Mhm.
what you're doing
Mhm.
at that moment. In
But
time.
don't you? But do you feel as if the male should be also held responsible, even if they're not the father? For those that were told not the father, they did jumping up and down and said, "In your face, in your face, in your face, in your face." Do you think that was
Wanted?
Yeah, or needed?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Now
Really?
you have me
Wow, you
on
accuse me and you're wrong?
television.
Yeah.
You have me on national television to be humiliated,
Mhm.
to come to find out that I'm not the father, and you've been having me pay child support all this time.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm jumping up. In fact, I'm doing spinners,
Oh,
twists,
Man, there's some
everything.
king poop on it.
Absolutely.
that I didn't
You
expect
have
that.
me on national television
Okay, I didn't
being
expect that.
humiliated.
Okay.
No, so as a mother of two boys,
Mhm.
if they had to go through that and they're not the father,
Oh man.
I think the female should be charged.
Oh,
Mm.
Right? Of
Criminally.
course.
wow.
Because I have a
100%.
nephew who was charged with something, found out on the stand the woman lied,
Yes.
and ruined 3 years of his life. Like, at what point do we hold people accountable for their own actions?
Mm. That
Yeah.
That's a good
yeah,
point.
it's
I didn't-
it's easy to just throw the
That's a good point.
accusations
That's
out there.
right.
There's no repercussion for it.
Mhm.
If there's nothing gonna happen, that okay, is this true or are you
Mhm.
making this false? Because if it's false and we
And
find
here's
out,
the thing, too. As a woman, if you're laying down with multiple partners,
Mhm.
you should not accuse anybody unless you're 100% sure and you've done the DNA that
Yeah.
that person is the father.
And you let them know, hey, you might not.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like, you have to be woman enough, because you lay down with all of them. Hey, you know what? You might not. But I'm gonna bring you on the show to see. Don't
And the
tell
only
them that
difference
they're
is
right.
if the
and then-
person was raped, but if
Oh,
you
yeah.
willingly lay down with
Mhm.
multiple partners and you have no idea who the father is, don't randomly pick somebody.
Then
Yeah,
they're mad
and
at you,
then
but they don't
demand
want to
it.
accept it.
Exactly.
The best part I liked is when they run up to the screen. Look at the nose. Look at the eyes. Look at the
No, but there was an episode where the male got to be like, "That's a white man's nose." That ain't my nose. That's a white man's nose.
Yo, one of them tried to compare and said, "Oh, the baby's penis is just the same. It's the same size as the father's," or some nonsense like that. I was like, "Oh my god." Oh,
No,
we're
but,
not
see,
doing
but
this
that
right
was
now.
the point. Like that, there was a part where I thought this is just for theater. Like this
It has
can't,
to be
this can't be
real.
real.
At a certain point, they did.
Or they
I mean,
put
it's
certain
theatrics.
like they've written the script.
Yes.
Yeah.
They like telling
Yeah.
you know you can be a little
True
a
story.
little
True.
dramatic.
But it's
with
like,
it.
I'm gonna add
Add
this
on.
to
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it sounds funny, and
Exactly.
like, get the attention. I really do think it's real
Yeah.
live stories.
Yeah.
But
True
there's
stories.
additives.
But it's just, it's
Yeah.
written.
What about you? What was your favorite show?
So
Talk
that
show.
would be Oprah and Montel Williams. And when I was
Okay.
a little on the sketchy side, it would be Jerry Springer, because I wanted the theatrics.
You wanted the ratchetness.
The ratchetness.
So if you were, here's a good question. Here's a good question. Ready? Of those three, which show would you be on? Depending on what you're looking for.
I would
What
be
show
on
can you see
Oprah,
yourself? You can see
because
yourself
I
on
want to get the house or the car. I want to get something substantial.
Well, help me out in life.
Help me in life.
You
Let
out
me
there?
out to where I am.
Give it a
right?
sad story. You know, by the end of it, hopefully she'll hook me up. I get you.
And
I get you.
Oprah catered to a specific quote unquote audience. Right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the same audience as Ricky Lake or
No.
Jerry Springer.
No.
No.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Oprah catered to one audience, but she was that one host that everybody can still listen to.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Mhm.
Any demographic.
Any demographic, it was women in that demographic or older people.
Mhm.
And it didn't matter your nationality. She catered to everyone,
That's
right?
Sure.
I mean, I think she catered to everyone. Hopefully, it doesn't come out bad or
It's gonna come out bad.
terrible.
It's gonna come up back.
Of course it will. So I'm gonna say,
Just because of that pretense. It's gonna come out
just for
bad.
that, so it's gonna come out. And you can fight me on it, but I think it's because of her looks, and she wasn't the typical pretty reporter.
Was that pro or con? Sorry.
I'm saying it's a pro. Some people look at it con, but I think it helped because people looked at her and could relate to her more. That especially when she went up and down in her size,
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
and
now I
still
can
was
understand.
commanding
Yes, attention.
attention from people. It was
Gotcha.
like, oh, look at this woman. She does it. She's not 110 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes,
Mhm.
out here
Got you.
she's doing, and I'm gonna watch her because I can relate to.
Wait for these to.
And then that too. And then she
had
was
the
back,
club.
which
And
made it even.
Yes, and she was educated,
Yes.
and you knew about her struggle coming up and what
Yes.
she went through,
Mhm.
and she still did movies, and she was a talk show host.
Yeah.
So she was
That's
like
the
a
thing.
quote unquote every woman type of thing.
Yeah, she was that everyday girl.
This is where the
Everyday woman.
her look worked for her when you
Yeah.
thought maybe it wouldn't, and I bet she probably thought it wouldn't work. She'd probably just be, you know, a regular, maybe a news reporter or something like that, or the talk show would be on for a little bit and it just die off. But
Seasons after seasons, she was still there.
How long was
And
she
when
on for?
and when Oprah does a
long, yeah.
tour,
Mhm.
like when she did it with Michelle Obama, it was sold the minute it went. The tickets went on sale; they were sold out within 5 minutes. So
Who was Ricky Lake about again? I'm trying to think.
Ricky
Ricky
Lake
was
she
everything.
She was that.
She was everything.
Yeah,
Show again. Like,
it wasn't talking, but she was like
Talk show also.
that bridge between Oprah and
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry, yeah,
You know what I
was
mean?
the
She was like that
medium.
medium.
Yeah.
Like she was the ratchetness, but also the serious tone, serious
Yeah.
topics.
Mm.
So I think from Ricky Lake, then you got the Jerry Springers and the Maury type of stuff, right? She was like that middle type. She was like the Jenny Jones, pretty much.
Yeah,
That middle.
middle of the
Jones.
Me personally, if I had to choose one,
Montel Williams. You
no,
look
I'm not
like
onto it. Shut up. I have to go with. Listen, we both have bald heads, so if I look like him, you look like him. So we're on the same boat. We're on the same boat. If I had to choose one, I gotta say Jerry Springer. Like I like the ratchetness here. Listen, when Johnson was over, what time did Johnson finish? 2:45.
bro.
I sprinted home on the TTC. 45 Kipling up in the house. 45 Kipling. I sprinted home on that bus, and I made sure Channel 4, 3 o'clock. Sometimes a lot late, so I'll miss 15 minutes. I don't care if it was.
Yeah,
I was not even reading what it was.
Because it's
Very
10 o'clock for the fresh live things.
Yes, that's it.
10 o'clock p.m. I
Listen.
was in front of the TV.
Listen,
I
listen.
swear I was in the crowd too.
Let me tell you how my mom, God bless her soul, she used to start work at 4 o'clock. And I would hope that she would leave by 3:30 so I can catch a good portion of Jerry Springer. Because I love that. Jerry. Now, I knew most of those fights were staged, but I did
Right.
not care. The
so
wigs
don't
coming.
get mad at me when I'm watching my Love and Hip Hop.
Because we know that's
my
fake.
This stuff.
Because we know that's fake.
You know it's fake, eh? You know it's fake.
Listen.
I'm like, but I love this show. This show is that.
Right.
Why?
But the age of, how old were we, 14, 15? We thought that we okay, this is authentic. What? That really happens? Now that we're of an older demographic, like we know what's fake and what's true. Like if Jerry,
It's like wrestling.
right, if Jerry Springer came on today,
Whoa! Wrestling is real!
Fake.
It's real fake, but it's real.
It's fake.
Those are real
Get
injuries.
hurt. Yeah, people can get
They
hurt.
do get hurt. I know it's
They
fake.
fail to
But
fake it out.
It's fake as in like the results and stuff. But when a man's getting slammed, they're getting slammed. They're feeling that
Not
stuff.
really, because they're going with the body to the floor.
you
But
cross.
they might make a mistake and
you
not
want-
go with it.
But that's
V,
and then they'll get
that's
hurt.
crucial. There's guys that got that
V?
tombstone.
Hold on. No, V.
That's
You
what
crossed.
get roasted.
You crossed the line right there.
Uh-oh.
You crossed the line.
Wrestling is real.
Wrestling is real. Get it straight. Don't get it twisted. Okay?
Those are real people doing real things.
Apologize. You gotta
I'm not
apologize.
apologizing.
But twist your leg to the right, so go with it.
There we go.
No, listen. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it because just like everything else you watch on TV, that's
It's
also
all
fake.
fake. 100%. Yeah,
It's
right.
It's all
Yeah, you're
fake
right.
too.
Yeah.
No, but
We do know this, though.
We know.
no, now.
But in
now.
the
But at that time, I was 14 or 15. I'm
Yeah,
watching
we
Jerry Springer.
never know.
Everybody thought that was real. Like I would say, Joe Jackson, I'll call you.
No,
Yo,
I
did you see that Jerry Springer episode?
I knew some of this stuff. You knew some of this stuff.
Trying to say,
No.
you trying to say, you matured faster than I did.
Not that it
We grew up in the same age, bro. You thought some of it was real.
was
Don't lie.
darker fashion we did, so of course I'm saying.
Whatever, yo. You knew some of it was real. You knew some of it was real. You knew some of it was real.
Real as in what sense?
If I'm seeing someone get up and throw a punch at somebody, right? If
Oh,
you're
yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah.
if you're saying wrestling, remember the age. If you're saying wrestling is real, at that point when I'm 14 or 15, I'm
So real.
That's what I'm saying.
But just you know what? I watched.
Well,
I watched.
how can the
Listen,
storylines be fake when the punch is real?
I
Doesn't make
watched.
sense.
I watched the Jerry.
No, see, if I'm punching somebody, the storyline better be real.
I watched the Jerry Springer documentary. It's
Mm.
on Netflix, and they talk about some of the stories and stuff. Listen, they're not made. They're not
Made up 100%.
People actually call them
Yes, that's right.
those stories.
That's right. But they do
But there's
write
certain,
their
there's
script.
certain, there's
They
certain
pad
things.
it up, let's say, to
Yeah,
make it
or
great for
they'll
TV
come
and
there
for
and
ratings.
they'll tell them one thing about this person, and
That's
so
right.
the story isn't fake, but certain things that the
Yes.
person might
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
Yes.
might be a
Yes.
lie,
Okay.
or someone might tell them something
Yes.
before they go on,
It's like
or they don't know what they're
It's
going
like
to.
baddies. There's a show. It's you know,
Yeah, I
baddies,
know.
baddies
Yeah.
club, whatever.
Or
So there's things like it's all real. Like these girls are ratchet, but there's things that they add in. Like
Yeah.
okay, you know that girl, this
Drama.
thing, yeah, drama to make like drama happen, and they even like gossip and say, hey, this person said this about you, just so the stuff.
Okay.
It's like the
Okay.
real
You know what I
housewives.
mean?
Some of the stuff is real,
It's real.
but some of it is
100%.
added on, right?
Yeah.
or they'll tell them, okay, make
Do
make
this.
this a problem.
Yes.
Like, I can sit here and
Someone
I
step
do
on my
this.
toe.
right, and I go like this. She's gonna turn over now and whisper to you. Why did you? You think that was by mistake?
It's instigation.
I think
it's instigation.
That's right, instigating. Yeah.
Yo, you watch these things. I'm listening. I'm so.
Why are you fighting over that?
About this, yeah.
That's what you're getting upset.
Yeah.
But then you know,
That's what's
TV.
selling TV right now. Everything is reality
Drama.
TV, and everything's
Drama.
or the ratings aren't high.
Drama.
and it's funny because everyone will watch it and be like, "Why are you getting mad? What do you do? You should do this, you do that." But bet you if they did exactly what you said, you would sit there and like, "This is boring."
Yeah. So to pull Jazz into this, there's somebody in your area who's streaming for 24 hours, and he's got how
Kai,
many Kai?
Kai,
How
Yo, Kai Cenat?
Kai, we want you on the podcast.
How many millions of views just watching him do his day-to-day life?
Yeah.
But this is the reality of where we are right now.
Would you watch Kai Cenat or what's another popular young one now these days?
I don't know. You need to.
What popular streamers are there?
I'm not even a front.
Okay, there's a lot, but like I don't watch them either.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's cool. You don't watch them, but
Yeah.
you know who the popular ones
Yeah,
are.
like
You
I've
hear about them?
seen like clips of
If you got Palia here, Palia will tell you all of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
So
as
we need you on the podcast.
It's a young generation, I'm telling you.
I feel as if unfortunately your generation, Jazz, unfortunately,
Yeah.
they're more into whatever sells, and that's what we're gonna produce.
Yeah.
I think
They're the
I don't want-
microwave generation.
yeah. I mean I wanna say back in our day there was a little bit of a moral factor in there. Probably not as
My
much.
generation had it all.
Oh yeah, you go with the
And
Donahue.
us too.
Donahue.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Phil Donahue?
Yeah, they had some
Mhm.
they couldn't get away with half the stuff that they get away with now.
Yeah.
But what about you? What do you think? What was your favorite talk show?
Out of those?
Yeah.
Jerry and Jenny.
Jenny.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Jenny
Oprah.
Jones, Jenny Jones.
I'll take it Oprah because she was at 4 o'clock prime time.
Mhm.
So you'll take it in. But I'm not rushing. It was Jerry.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I had to be there.
I'm not gonna hear it. You know you had a crush on Oprah. Don't lie.
You keep insisting.
I know you had.
Are
a
you
crush.
projecting?
I know you had a crush on Oprah.
Are you projecting?
I know you had a crush on Oprah.
No.
I know you had a crush
She was
on Oprah.
not my crush. Her money was my crush. Oprah was not my crush.
I'm gonna give you two
Like
steps.
Like I said, like we talked about last time, I will be called Oprah's man if I'm taken care of like that. I will change my name to Oprah's
Oh
man.
my god.
Sideman.
I will be.
No,
We
Oprah's
talk about,
man.
I will be
Man.
Stedman.
Man.
I will be Stedman. Yeah.
Sure, you said man.
No,
I will be a
remember
Stedman.
that because she's got Stedman, which works.
I will be
He would
him.
be the sideman.
No.
He'd be the side after Stedman because she's not giving.
Wait,
us
we open up a whole okay. What we putting? You know what we putting in here? What we doing? So Oprah see me sitting in the crowd and she's like, I want a little bit. I want to sample a little bit of that later
A
on.
little bit of the young tea.
All right, so I'm single, right? So I'm single, so this don't matter right now, right? Okay, so I'm not. This has nothing. So I'm completely single. I haven't met my wife. No, I don't know her. I'm a young American in Chicago and in the crowd, and Oprah's like, bring him backstage for me. Stedman. I'm sorry, bro.
No, Stedman,
If Oprah says, listen, I need you to keep it quiet,
Zip,
Hmm?
zip.
That's
Keep it quiet.
Going?
Karen, no, listen.
Who
Karen,
am I? I'm a nobody.
If you're single and you're in a relationship with somebody and they're famous and they're saying keep it quiet,
Yeah.
but they're buying you the house, the car, they're shelling you
So
the
you want to be
money,
quiet.
are you
Quiet.
gonna be quiet? Are you gonna be quiet?
No one knows me.
Okay.
No one knows who I am.
I want to be known.
Even if they have a picture
I
of
can't be
me and
saying.
Oprah and
It wasn't me, right?
unconvincing. Call me
It
Shag.
wasn't me.
I mean, you sure that's me? Sure. All you see is this part. All black people look the same?
Oh,
So we trying to say? All you see is this portion. Right? All you see is this. How you know it's me? How you know it's me?
You guys consider a gold digger, right?
listen.
Okay.
Play the song.
Okay.
At
I'll
some
be a
point,
gold digger
at
if I
some
need
point in
to.
time, men have to play that role too.
Exactly.
Some point in time.
And there are a lot of men,
Facts.
not just women now,
100%.
that play that role
100%.
and play it
Well,
properly.
100%.
That's why women can cheat.
And I'd have to say,
Or they're better at it.
I know we're going back for it, but
Because men will
Man
shut
chat
their
too
mouth.
much. Man
They'll
chat too
call
much.
do you think?
No. If the woman doesn't say something stupid to him or make him feel maybe less of a man in a way, then he might brag. But if you just be like, listen, you can get this, we keep it on the side, don't say nothing.
But
you
what
know
about
I mean?
those barbershop talks?
Mm.
Where men brag about their conquers and their conquests.
And
But he'll know. But the thing is, he may
He's gonna keep it quiet because he's getting
he may
money.
know who, if you know who the man is
Mm-hmm.
and you're all in the same area,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to. He'll keep it quiet to an extent
Mhm.
because he's not in it emotionally. He's getting the pumps, and that's probably his thing. Now, if he catches feelings, that's where he might start yapping.
Because when men catch
And-
feelings, they get hurt worse than a woman on any single day of the week.
That's true.
That's why if you keep it strictly to that and let them know, then they'll keep it silent. But that's why when a man tries to cheat with a woman,
Mhm.
can't, because to him it's just sex, but to her, majority of the time, they have feelings for you.
So
and
can
they're
I ask you
giving
one
you
question?
it up because they have feelings for you.
So can I ask you a question? In 2024, 2025,
Mhm.
do you think that's now reversed?
100%.
As in, wait, what is what?
Men are catching feeling and women's just like, oh, it's just a thing.
Men have always caught feelings. It's just now they're gonna. It's okay if they say it because some women will allow it, but most women might
Allow
bat them
what?
up
Most women would allow what?
because they want the man to be in touch with their.
Femininity.
I don't want to say feminine side,
Feelings.
their emotions with
Okay.
the sadder side, not the macho blah blah.
But more
They want
so,
the-
to answer your question, look at the role that females have taken these days. Like, if you look at the entertainment, I'm just using entertainment as an example. Look at artists like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. They have this strong persona, like this domineering persona, right? So I think organically it actually has shifted, right? Where females are
That
taking
aspect, yes.
that strong role. I think to a certain extent it's actually done them more harm than good, right?
And why is that? Explain.
Well, if you look at people, like I said, if you look at people like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, me personally, I don't have any respect for them, right?
Why?
The songs that they sing,
Okay.
the way that they go about themselves. Look at Cardi B for an example right now. She thinks that she's moved on in a relationship and she's holding all the cards. But if someone that looks back and says, "Yo, you actually look like you're being tossed from person to person to person. You don't look like a dominating figure at all. To me, she looks like an idiot."
That's what your opinion, though.
That's
No,
my
but I'm
opinion.
going to ask you a question. So, what about a woman who's climbed the corporate ladder properly,
Yes.
has her own house, her own things,
Without doing
everything.
anything to get there.
Right, without doing anything to get to that level.
That's right.
Why is it that that individual is more single than somebody who has nothing to a man?
Because a lot of men have their egos and
Understood.
they don't want to be the, oh, my woman is running this. It's still the whole, the man has to be the dominate one. They have to be running the relationship. They have to be this and that. And it's foolish to me because you're supposed to be a team.
Correct.
And yes, okay, there's leaders on a team, but there's different leaders on a team.
But
Right?
who's
If you
to
look at a
say-
sports team, how many there's different
so many
levels
leaders.
of leaders.
There's so many leaders, and it depends on what game: offense, defense, special teams.
And sometimes that person, okay, you may own the team, but at a certain moment, you're not leading it. It's that person on the court doing the work right now is leading it. So yeah, you could be the man and you have the money, but if the woman is going out taking care of the kids, taking care of the home, and she goes and gets a job too, and all you have your job, you make your money, but that's all you're really doing. You're not running the household, really. In my sense, it's the woman that's running it because she's doing everything.
The woman runs the world.
With that,
I know.
we say that, but you know what's funny? Why? Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Let me say. Hold on. I'm not against what you're saying. I'm not against that. Women do run the world. Oh my god. But it's also with the aspect of they need to come together because I hear too much women. I don't have women friends because women talk too much. I don't hang with women because women this. I don't, and it's like,
But here's
wait, how are you? We run the world. We're the greatest, but now you don't even want to hang with each other, or you turn on each other, or it's this and that.
Okay,
To me, it's almost like the black thing. Like, yeah, we want to be up here, but then the moment someone's up here, we're tearing them down because I need to be the man.
Right. What I meant was women
Yeah.
run the world, even when they're with a man who financially isn't at the same grade. If that man is a man, they have no problem submitting to that person because they've got the qualities and the integrity to do what they need to do.
But I think a lot of don't.
And the problem is, in 2025, a lot of men don't have it because they're looking for women to carry them along. Not you two.
I get what you're saying. No. I get what you're saying.
Not
I get what
the
you're
two
saying.
of you on this podcast or the cameraman, but there's a lot of men and they're looking for a woman to provide, do everything, and they sit and play video games all day. And then when their woman wants to go out, they've got an issue.
Shout out to my video game stuff.
Hey, no, I'm playing video games, but that can't be the only thing you do.
Come on, we have an audience here, man.
But you said that can't be the only thing.
That can't be the only thing. Like, here's the thing. Society's shifted and morphed in so many ways that there's a lot of dad moms who stay home, take care of the house, do all of that things, and shout out to them.
I would be,
You know
if
what I
needed,
mean?
I would be.
If that's what it takes to raise your family,
Yep.
because it's very hard to say that you're putting your children into daycare, having somebody else watch them and instill those values. However, that priority needs to shift. We just have to own it and work through it.
But let me ask you something. How long would you, as a woman, how long would you be comfortable with that role? So say your man was the stay-at-home man and you were the breadwinner for that family. How long can you actually mentally and physically sustain that and be okay with that?
If the man is true to who he is,
Sure.
and we're taking care of the household
Yes,
and everything in the household,
sure.
it doesn't matter how long it is because we're a partnership. It doesn't matter who's bringing in the most amount of money. As long as we work as a partnership and we're a team and our family's whole, that's all that matters.
Now,
Uh-oh.
you touch you first. In an argument, are you
No.
throwing that in his face?
No,
Thank you. Okay.
I'm not the person to throw something in a man's face.
I do this, I do that, I do that.
No,
So
because
if he comes to you and says, yo, and he's, oh, let's go clean the dinner. Go
No,
clean the
like-
dishes.
like if I'm the breadwinner and we are on a budget and we're doing what we're doing and you need money for whatever, it's our money. It's not my money. As long as you're not going out and buying a Lamborghini and the J's that just dropped for $800 and the rent hasn't been paid.
Yeah.
Like that's irresponsible. But if the rent's paid, all our bills paid, and you want those new J's that drop, sure, go for it.
Okay, so young in here. I'm going to ask you this question now.
You're a voice of the
Now
generation.
listen, you're coming up. Scratch the situation you're in right now. Okay. You ain't got no man. But now,
Okay.
man, a guy is talking to you or whatever, and you're in a relationship. Now, would you be okay with being the breadwinner?
Yeah.
That didn't sound.
You don't sound
That
too
didn't sound
confident.
too strong.
That doesn't sound too confident.
Okay, we'll put it this way. Okay, he's not lazy.
Okay.
He doesn't have a job. Okay, but you guys don't have no kids, but you have a place together. Keeps the place. He does look for work. It's just
It's hard.
whatever reason,
Can't
it's
get
hard for him to get one.
Yeah.
But he is work. He does do stuff around the house. You know,
Yeah.
he keeps it proper. You come home, hey, a meal is made for you. You know, roles in reverse, basically.
Yeah.
right.
Would you
Has to be a couple.
see that? We already can tell the difference in generations. They also burnt up.
Don't
Don't
listen. This, but
Damn.
Where's this man? Send him my
Jazzy,
way.
this is why you're here. You would need
Yeah.
a different alternative voice. So
Would you be okay with that?
they said, what is your opinion?
I mean, yeah, I think I kind of agree. Like, as long as like he's like helping out and like, you know, then and he's like still looking for a job and whatever, like, then yeah, then we're good.
For how long? So you're 22. You're 22. How long are you able to be okay with that? Say this goes on for 5 years. Are you okay with that?
Okay, no.
Okay,
So that's different from
he,
your
he,
answer.
he gets
That's different.
he gets a job, but
He can't
Six-
sustain it.
six
He doesn't-
months,
he doesn't
something
make the same
happens,
amount
gone,
of
he's
money
looking
as
again.
you do.
Comes
So
again.
you're the breadwinner.
He's constantly in between jobs.
No, he's a deadbeat at that point.
I don't know.
Yes, he's picking.
Okay, he's
Like,
making.
I feel like at my age, at 22,
Yes,
like,
at
you
your
know what I
age.
mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's just not like something that I would want to look in a partner. Like, that's just like
Good
red
answer.
flags. Like,
Good answer.
you know
Good
what I
answer.
mean?
So at your age, you're saying that's okay.
No, if we're starting out at my age right now.
Right now, if you're the
No,
breadwinner,
no.
And he's
but he's
no,
taking care of the house.
No.
Okay, that's different from your answer.
No, but I'm saying if we were just starting out and I was younger and we're building and it's
Okay,
about
sorry.
children,
Okay.
at my age right now,
Mhm.
if you don't have a job, don't talk to me. If you don't have a pension, don't talk to me. No, I'm being real.
No, I hear that. I hear that.
No,
Because
there's enough guys on the. Okay, that's.
no,
Damn.
no, and you know, no, and you know
Find
why?
a fake job. Get
You know
pension.
why? Because I'm about to retire. If you don't have a job or a pension, I'm
I-
now taking care of you for the rest of our life.
And I'm old already.
I'm not doing
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna throw another wrench in there.
Okay.
He's a hustler,
Oh no.
but he's making his money.
You know,
In my experience,
But it's no pension. But he's making his money.
in
He
my
can take care of
in
him.
my experience, in my experience,
Mhm.
if he's a hustler and he's invested that money that he's been hustling
it's
in
something-
the first 40 or the last 10, 15 years, then yes. If he hasn't invested any of that money, that hustling money blows up in the wind
Mhm.
and I'm still
So
responsible.
you need a hustle with a way out. He's hustling to get out.
I'm not even doing that.
No, but I'm saying he's saving up, right?
Yeah, if
you
he's
catch him
saving
now,
up, yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's still
He
doing it,
is-
but he is saving. He has that, but
Yeah,
he needs a
okay.
few more years to
Yes.
get where he wants to go.
Yeah, then we're okay.
Okay.
Because then
As long as there's an end goal.
right, because
for it.
at the
Okay.
end of the day, we can still live a comfortable life when
Mhm.
we're retiring, and it's not just all on me.
But do you have that fear factor in the back of your mind saying this could somehow come about 10 years from now? Like the feds or what do we call it here in Canada? The RCMP can come back and say, listen, we've been investigating your husband for such and such years. There's some criminal activity that's.
Oh no, that's where the prenup comes in, honey.
Okay. So, so
we always keep in this girl completely covered.
okay.
Hold on.
So
That you jumped the gun. That was one of my
I'm
questions.
just-
Should we
I'm just
profit
saying.
now? Should we profit now?
do it. Go ahead.
You said the magic word prenup.
This is a good one for couples and for people that are.
Do you think every marriage should have a prenup?
I'm gonna speak.
No matter your status,
I'm
rich,
gonna speak for me.
struggling, whatever it is.
I'm gonna speak for me
Mhm.
as a.
You guys talking to Mike?
Oh, sorry. As for me, as a single divorced person
Mhm.
who escaped having to pay spousal support,
Mhm.
having to split my pension,
Mm-hmm.
if I get married today, you're signing a prenup because what I've worked for in -40 weather at transit is going to go to my children and not to somebody who's just come along for the last 10 years or 5 years of my life. That's just from personal experience. But over to my cousin for her point of view.
What's your point of view? Should there be a prenup in a relationship?
Let's be clear. It's split. It depends on where you met the person.
Gotcha.
Right? There's some girls out there that are literally just there just for the money. Now you have to know, as a man or woman, if this person is legit and they're coming to you and they care for you just because.
Good answer.
Right? If you have money and you meet a woman and then you told her about your money, do a prenup.
Gotcha.
Do a prenup. But
Good point.
you met this girl in high school, you known her for years. No.
It's different.
No. There's no prenup. There's no need. You don't think of her as a gold digger. You know she's genuine. She loves you for you. You're broke. She's broke. Y'all building together. Okay? There's a difference. There's an absolute difference.
Good answer.
Okay?
Good answer.
Period.
The problem is when you get to my age and you're in a relationship, it's more of a financial transaction because there's a lot to lose on both parts than it is about love. It's a financial transaction with companionship. But what do you think about that, Warren?
I need the mic. I'm good. So I've always had this this mindset where I actually do see prenups as wills. Now hear me out on this one.
Okay.
It's almost as if you're writing something into existence before it actually happens. So when you write, say, a will at the age of, like, say you're writing, now I understand if you have kids, it's important to write wills, I get that. But if you're writing a will, for example, at the age of 35, right, or 40, well before your time is due, it's almost as if you're putting something into the universe, saying, okay, this is going to happen at this point. Probably won't, but just putting it out there makes me kind of fearful, right?
Okay.
So I kind of see prenup as almost the same thing. Now, luckily, I met a lovely human being when I was broke ass poor, right? Hold on, where's she at? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? So
We were broke together.
that's right. That's right. And we still broke it. That's right. What's that?
No, we ain't. We're not receiving any of that.
What's that song by Whitney Houston? In the subway, one sofa type of thing. Okay, I'm on the song by myself.
My love.
My love is your love. There we go.
Oh, my love.
Yeah. Well, the part where she's talking about the train and sitting on the sofa.
Yes.
That's my wife. But going back to my point, I see prenups as you're almost writing something. You're looking to something to fail, right? And it's almost as if, listen, I'm writing this just in case. Well,
Because you have doubts.
you have doubts, right?
For real.
So I don't want to speak something or write something
Yeah.
into existence. Now, if I know the individual is a certain
That's
way,
right.
right?
That's that point.
Right, to your point. If I know a certain individual is a certain way when I meet them, well, first of all, I wouldn't be continuing a relationship with them.
That's what I was gonna
Some
say.
people do, though. That's the
No, that's
problem.
exactly.
Some people do because
Some
the
people
sex
do.
is
There
great.
you go.
The
There you go.
companionship
I've
is
seen.
great.
There you go. For example, I'll give you an example right now.
Social
Bill,
media.
what's his name? Bill Belichick. Bill
Sure.
Belichick.
know.
He's the
There's so
ex-coach.
many.
He's the ex-coach of
Oh,
the New England Patriots.
okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now he's going on with 20-something years.
Like that. He's
This
like
man is in his
60s,
70s,
or
right?
something like that, yeah.
Now,
That's money.
no, hold on a second. Now, this goes to my point. Now, she may be a good person, but let's look at the age gap here. At that point, when the man is 70 and she is
Thank you.
early 20s,
Thank you.
yes, a prenup
Thank
is
you.
necessary, right?
Right?
He's almost at the end of his
Like
he's almost at the end of his life. She's just beginning her life, right? So in that instance, yes, a prenup is necessary.
100%.
But when you know an
You
individual,
darn well know what I want.
right, when you know an individual through and through, and you've taken that time to get to know that person, I feel as if a prenup or wills are speaking negativity into existence. That's my opinion.
No.
Yours?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm not as just a strict black and white. So I think it all depends on situations.
Yeah.
Prenups. I hear you guys saying it sounds negative, which makes sense, but marriage is also contract because you still sign something at the end of it saying, "Oh, we're married." Okay,
Point.
so that's all this is. All a prenup is you could look at it as a negative too, but it's like, okay, we're protecting what we came into. To me, it kind of depends on what you put in there.
Right.
I think it should be, listen, we came into this relationship, whatever we came into it, if somehow we end for whatever reason, when we leave, that's what we leave with. Whatever we make together,
It's
that's what we
different,
divide up.
separate.
I think that's how it should be.
I agree.
Now, the
Because
courts, the
if
courts
one
don't see it
person,
like that.
if
though.
I, co- if
No, but they,
if I,
they
if,
have a prenup, they do.
if I come into a relationship and I'm 10 million strong or whatever, fine lady or whatever it is, and okay, she has her job, whatever, but obviously she's not making what it's a regular salary thing. Okay? We get together, blah blah blah, we do the thing, take care of, we get married, right? Now from here on, we start our own little business together, and we start making money.
Okay, what if
Mhm.
you met her, she knows nothing about you. She knows nothing what you have.
Mhm.
You guys hit it off at
Mhm.
a place where far away.
Mhm.
She doesn't know you, doesn't know what
She
you're
don't know I
about.
got money.
Nothing. And you guys hit it off,
Am I keeping that quiet?
and you kept it going, and she doesn't know nothing of you still, and you kept on going back and forth. Now you guys built a relationship where now you're feeling her. She did not put this on you. She's not telling you put a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
Right? It's a build relationship.
Yeah.
You are now feeling that connection with her. Would you still put a will on that?
Prenup.
A prenup on that?
She knew nothing. She knows nothing about it.
Nothing. She has no idea who you are. You guys
know
just
what?
had that like that.
I'll bring it up to her,
Uh-huh.
and it'll all be based on her response.
Oh, okay.
If I bring it up and say, hey,
No, but we said you proposed to her, and she said yes already without knowing who you are.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
but still at the end of it, when she knows who I am, now her whole attitude can change up.
Correct. And a lot of it has to
She
do
could
with
switch
the
up on me now.
A lot of it has to do with the family behind you.
That too.
Right?
I gotta get to know that family too. If
Right,
that
no,
family
but even the
seems
family
like,
of a rich person who's saying you need to do that prenup before you even walk down the aisle. And that's a different kind of pressure that's put on, even though you're madly in love with this person, your family's saying, because we have money and it's not just your wealth, it's our wealth that's affected.
That's why I said it will be what we come into with is what we're going to leave with, and anything that we accumulate together,
Okay.
we divide it up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she builds you up after this. So you have like 10 million. Now when you marry her, she's like, hey, you know what? Invest in this. Do this, do this, do this, do this. With the money you have, now to make it more, multiply. With the multiply money, you will split it with her.
And that's fine. Even
Okay.
if she does her research on stuff and says, hey, listen, I looked into this, I did this, I checked this, I think you should invest in this and and I do it and it rolls, I can't be like, well, that was my money I invested. I didn't know about it. You brought it to me, and you did the work.
That was the partnership.
And you did the work.
Yes. Because it has happened that way.
It's just like a job, right?
Yes.
Only thing is, okay, I didn't pay her a salary in that sense, but it's just like a job. You do a job, you do research for the company, you find something, the company's paying you money.
Absolutely.
They get their money. It's the same thing. It's just, I'm not paying her, here, you get $100 and that's it. Like, you're getting taken care of, you're getting extra on top of whatever it is, you're getting all of it, right? And when we're done now, say we made 100 million together, all right, we split that.
Yeah.
We'll look here and there and see if everything looks like, hey, you divided up the work properly. Okay, you split that. I take my 10 mil also that I came in with, and your $10,000 that you had, you can take that too, along with the 50 mil. You go your way, I go my way. Done. But it's the ones where it's the lady or the woman comes in, because usually that's how it is.
No,
but
now
either way,
there's a lot of males.
I know it's changing, but it's still, you know, you hear more.
Look at Halle Berry.
You hear more about the woman being the broke one, and now all of a sudden, you know what I don't like? The whole I grew accustomed to this lifestyle. Do not run that line on me. Do not run that line on me. Because if that's what you want to run to me, you were accustomed to cheap burgers, were you not? But when you got with me, all of a sudden now you need steak. You need steak.
But the courts do rule in that favor.
I know, and that's what they say.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Especially if you have kids.
But you were accustomed to something before me. So why don't you go back to that and be accustomed to that?
No, you
cannot.
can't. My stomach is now
Okay,
adjusted
so then,
to all
so
that.
then think about it. But then if we get together now and I'm rich, you know this, but I'm like, I'm not. You gotta pay for your own stuff. You gotta pay
Don't
for
work
this.
that way.
That's what you're accustomed
That's
to,
not
right?
the
That's what
system.
you're accustomed to. So keep going along that line.
The court would not
But
do
that's
that.
no, I know, but no, I'm
And
saying
either
no.
way, male
I'm
or
saying
female.
before the courts, before the court,
Oh.
we meet.
Yeah.
This is right. I have this. I know this has happened before.
Yeah,
This is what
yeah.
happens in the court. You're gonna do this. Oh, I'm accustomed to this lifestyle. I need to stay this way.
Yep.
Okay. So you're accustomed to $5 burgers. That's what you're staying at when we go out. Be accustomed to that. Stay there. Even when we get married,
make
you know
sure
what?
you get your burgers.
Even when we get married now, okay.
Nice platter.
You still get your
Beautiful
$5 because
platter.
you know what? That's what you're accustomed to. You get your $5. You can get 3 $5 burgers. I'll hook you up with that.
Listen.
I'll be nice. But that's what you're gonna be accustomed to. So now when you're ready or we separate, whatever it is.
But
Like-
see, here's the problem though. Like, you've never heard of women having to pay spousal support, but it's happening.
Oh yeah.
Halle
And
Berry's
I-
paying.
Yeah, and I
Is
refuse.
it Mary J? Is it Mary
Yes,
J
Mary
paying
J.
her
Oh,
Yes.
she
husband?
is? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's
Yeah.
almost
She's paying
bankrupt
spousal
because
support.
she's paying spousal support, right? Like,
Oh, man.
Now, do you feel sorry for them?
of course I do.
But what if it was reversed now? Would you feel sorry for the man?
I still feel sorry for anyone,
Anyone? Okay.
Yeah,
male or
it's true. It's
female.
true.
Okay.
Because,
That's
like
cool.
you said,
You work
if
your
you
hard-
were used to $5 burgers and I took you in and we were in love and we built this life, and now you're gouging me. Look at Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
He has to pay like spousal support out of his yin yang.
But can I ask you, I'm gonna again, I'll play the devil's advocate one more time. Yeah, I know. But how do you expect the wife or the male, the wife or the man, to sustain living in a big house?
But it's in
Order
their
of-
house to begin with.
No, but how do you but the bills, everything that comes with the house. If you're separated from that person, how do you expect them?
But that's why the prenup comes into play.
Okay.
Because it was my house. I moved you into my house. I gave you this lifestyle, and now you're suing me for it. That's why my son bought a house at 29. I own half of that house. If he meets a female, that female's getting half of his half. He still has 75% because I'm setting him up
Yep. I got
for
you.
positivity.
I got you.
And that's a lot of things that we don't do. We need to have these conversations with our
yeah,
kids.
go.
We need to sign on things for them because love. My girlfriend's mother says it this way: when you're in love, the whole world is Jewish. When you're in love, everything is all roses, right?
Yeah, I got
Right?
you. I got
But
you.
and you're not thinking with common sense. We have to be the
It's-
ones
it's
for our
true.
kids
It's true.
to think in common sense
Yeah.
based on our experiences of life.
I got you. And this is why I
I
like.
agree. I agree.
This is why I like this particular mashup because we got couples, we got singles, we got people that are entering possibly into a marriage, right? Right? Not naming no names here, Jazzy, but I'm just saying some names. Okay? So for someone that is entering into a marriage in the
Yeah.
future, would you feel it necessary for a prenup?
I don't
No.
think so. I feel like if you like have that like oh, I need one, then you just don't trust your partner. And like like what you said too, like I feel like you're kind of like expecting for something
Something
to
to happen.
end. Yeah. So I feel like if I have that doubt, then I shouldn't even get married in the first place.
All right, which is a good moral go to Oprah type of answer.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Let's say the person that you're married to is worth $1 billion. Now I'm putting a number on there.
Yeah.
$1 billion. You came from nothing, from the ground, nothing to up right now. Are you still not gonna want a prenup? $1 billion plus dollars. We're talking money now. We're talking real money now, real stacks. So not
Or reverse, you're the one that owns $1 billion and the person
That's
you're
right.
in love with has nothing.
Exactly.
I don't
So your business is potentially in jeopardy. Right?
Well, yeah, you're
yeah.
gonna lose half of
Your business. So
Yeah,
you started
hard.
You started this
Yeah.
business when
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
19. You
Yeah.
built it up to this platform.
All by
where-
yourself.
Yeah.
All by yourself, and you're
All that
marrying,
hard work.
and you're now marrying somebody who has nothing.
So
Yeah.
all
I
that
feel
lovey-dovey
like-
moral type of answers out the window now.
Nothing.
So like I feel like I feel like I would like talk to my partner. I would be like, you know, like this is how it is. Like we would like I would feel like I would talk it out with this person and
So you want to do a prenup? Like
You
paperwork?
would- you would-
like you know
signed.
like if we do have to like if I have to do a prenup, right?
No, it's not if. It's would you or you gotta stay which one.
Would you or would
So
you
it's
not
it's
do a
your
prenup?
company. Your company's worth.
Yeah.
Billions of
I
dollars.
feel like I would then.
Okay.
You wouldn't?
I would.
You
I
would.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, but I would like
really
make
would.
sure like my partner is comfortable with what they're with the prenup.
What
like,
if they're not comfortable with it? This is you.
Then
This
Forget
is
it.
you.
They're not comfortable with whatever. This is
Yeah.
your business, your name, your family history.
yeah,
You're putting it in front of that person. Listen,
yeah.
this is the prenup. This is how much I'm worth.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna get. If you don't like it, deuces.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
I don't know. Then I feel like I would just then we're not ready to get married.
Okay.
Maybe we just need to like still work on a relationship and like build that trust or something. I don't know.
So you would still do. So the final answer.
I would still
is,
be with this person
Okay.
if I like them.
But
So
your
say-
final answer is you would initiate a
A
prenup.
prenup.
Yeah.
So
You
say
would.
they don't want to sign it though.
She said then they need to work on the relationship.
Yeah. Then we'll see.
No, she's thinking. No, Karen's. Sorry, Special K is saying no. They ain't signing ish.
Okay.
Make sure you
So-
take out Karen.
They ain't signing nothing. There's no middle ground. It's either yes or no.
I don't know. I don't know. What
I
I
ain't
would do.
signing it. I love you and I only want you. I'm not signing no paperwork. What you gonna do now?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Deuces, you're walking.
Fair enough.
No, honest, for me, it's deuces, you're walking. If you're
Yeah.
not signing the paperwork,
Yeah.
like, then we don't have a relationship because
Yeah.
this was an understand. And I'm very transparent from the get go.
Yeah.
I put all my wants and needs on the table. You either accept it or you don't.
Yeah.
So people know that there's a prenup coming because I've worked too hard not to leave something back for my kids.
Yeah.
You can have living interests as long as you're alive. You can live in my house. You can enjoy all these luxuries. But when you pass, it's going to my kids.
Yeah.
Good answers. Good answers. Everything was appreciated and everything was understood, and I think everybody's giving their honest opinion. So good answers. That one's a tough one though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for all those people that are gonna now have conversations. We're just sniffing. Yeah. So there was a podcast that we were talking about prenups. What do we got going here?
The whites above. Yeah,
Sorry if we started something that might start an argument, but
Right. Right.
that's for y'all to decide. All right. Next topic. What do we got? H2O.
Where's Jen?
Well, I
Jen
mean,
out here.
Since we're on the family, I guess prenups is kind of part of family stuff, right? We'll go with Well, I guess this is more for the man them on here a little bit.
Okay.
But women, you can chime in on your opinions on it. Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay for a man to bring his son to a strip club on his 18th birthday?
Woo!
Is it okay to drink or smoke weed with your adult kids?
Wow.
So the two kind of separate, I guess. But they kind of connect because 18, 19 over here makes you an adult. Some places in the States it does, and some you gotta wait till you're 21.
This is a good one.
But we're over here.
This is
So
a good one.
we'll start with the strip club part.
Hey, do you want to start with the young answer first?
Yes.
I think that's gonna be interesting.
Do this.
Do this.
I actually seen like a TikTok of a mom who actually like brought home like for her son's birthday party.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys seen it, but like yeah,
Nope. Not me.
I seen a TikTok of like this mom who brought home like strippers to like her house for like a
Oh.
birthday party and like other kids.
Kids or young adults?
I don't even remember how old they were. I'm not gonna lie, but they
Young?
look like
Because that's
kids.
important, actually.
I
That's
don't
important.
even remember. I don't know if he was 13, 16, something
That's
like that.
probably-
Like, right? Anyways, I don't even remember the exact age. But anyways, she brought home strippers for the kids, and then the other kids who were like invited to the birthday party, their parents actually didn't know.
And got involved.
Yeah, and they were so I read like I seen TikToks of it, and like the parents were like, oh, like we didn't know about this. If we knew, we wouldn't have sent our
Bring
kids
the
here.
So
or-
that tells me right away that they were probably underage.
Yeah, I
if you're
think
going
so.
there.
I think they definitely were, but
You as an
yeah.
individual, go with it.
I think it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's right.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's
So,
wrong.
now, so you're grown now. Take you out at a young age right now.
Yeah.
You're grown. You got a husband. He wants to. He said, at 18. Hell,
I feel like you're.
honey, I'm bringing him to the
introducing-
strip club today.
Yeah, I feel like you're introducing them to like negativity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why
Okay.
not like take them somewhere else where they can, you know, actually.
Like the zoo?
Yeah. Like other adults.
She's some
stuff.
real animals.
I mean, there's no
Real wild
I
animals.
mean, there's no difference. There's still naked mammals that you have to see, right?
Still unclothed.
Still unclothed.
Yeah.
This is funny.
I don't know. Personally, I've never like done any of that kind of stuff. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, we're going screen.
Yeah.
No, off screen.
That's why I said we're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
No, but she was saying something just now, so we gotta pop it out
What
there.
was she
We
saying?
gotta pop it out there.
You opened up.
Only my husband will. Okay.
Okay.
So
We'll get to her door.
You're okay.
TJ, we're gonna get to her door. Make sure when you get to Special K, do a zoom in on her answer. Okay.
Don't do it.
Do a zoom.
Don't
H2O, what
do
you
Oh,
got?
here we're going this way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Nice try, Akil.
okay.
Nice try.
yeah. I have no issue with it. If she has no
So
issue
you'd be
with
okay
it,
with
I'll
it?
bring them.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. It still equates to the next question. Listen, if you're gonna do anything that's like major or considered, I don't know what you want to call it. You're gonna experience that with me first. You're gonna learn it, or I just want to know what you know first before you go out there and do it. Like, go out on your own. I don't want you going to a strip club acting fool because you don't know, or you're hearing how other people are this and that, and you're being
And you're
stupid.
touchy and grabby.
Yeah. If I go with you, I can let you know. Like, listen, don't do this.
grabbing the girl
Don't
and doing
do that.
all this nonsense.
Don't do that. If I know you have an interest in wanting to go to one, then yes, I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna take you.
As a father, not a mother.
We're gonna go.
That's the difference.
Well, obviously it's gonna
Hold
be
on,
different,
hold
right? But we'll switch it up on you guys. But yeah, I don't want to spend. And I'll tie it in with the next question. It's saying the drinking and smoking. Would you do that with your adults? So we'll say 18, 19.
Yeah.
You're okay. Yes, because if I know you have if I see you have an interest, or you even ask me about
already
it,
started,
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. I don't want you to have already started, but if you are in the beginning, whatever, and you're curious and you're think, yeah, I'm gonna want you to think because I want to teach you, or at least show you. So when you go there, I at least have an idea. Okay, I showed him this. He should know what to do. I'll know. Okay, yo, you're drinking. All right, this is your limit. Now you know what your limit is, and you're at home. You're in a safe mat. I don't want your first experience. You're out there. I'm pretty sure my first experience was
out there.
right, like real drinking, not like the Bacardi breezes you used to drink when you were younger. Where you thought you were drinking some real liquor.
Oh, you're sneaking
And
from
it's-
a beer that's half empty.
But it's 0.05, not 5% alcohol. And you thought you were drinking something? Yeah. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about some real percentage in it.
Yeah.
You don't want. I wouldn't want it to be out there. Anyway, and him not knowing what his tolerance is, or at least the level. Because at least if the first time with you, you can see, oh,
You
had 2 beers, and look at you.
So now you know.
You know what? If you go there, do not drink one. Drink one. Drink one. Right? If you're out, drink one. If you're in a home, a safe environment, okay, maybe you could do it too. You're by your friend or whatever. You're in a home. That's cool. Smoking? Hey.
Bless you.
That was.
You're on the pod now. Yeah, I wouldn't want their experience to be out there. I would at least want to know, okay, I know something. I know a little bit. I know your tolerance at
That's
least.
right. To
I
kind of
know
guide you.
somewhat what you can do, and I'm teaching. It's anything. It's like teaching your child babies. I know they go to school to learn things, but there's certain things you want to be able to teach.
Absolutely.
You don't want someone else teaching it to
Okay.
them. You want that foundation to be from you, and that's what they'll look back to be like, okay, yeah, I remember when I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're out there with their friends are gonna keep encouraging.
Yeah.
Keep
Oh,
going,
keep going, keep going, keep going.
keep going. No. You gotta tell them, listen.
Is it my turn?
You know you're.
No, it's not your turn.
Okay.
Oh, it's your
Oh,
turn.
you're itching to go.
Oh, it's your
Oh my
turn.
gosh.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
do you want
your
to skip the
turn.
gun? We can go to you right
See, I
away.
have a comment on what he
Go
said.
ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as a single mother to 2 males,
I get.
there's a lot of things that you don't, as a mother, you can't teach your males,
Yes.
right? Because
yes.
it only comes from a man's point of view. So I remember my son being drunk. And him saying, because I always said to my kids, if you're somewhere and you're drinking, I don't want you to get in a car with anybody, call me. The friend said, I'm going to call your mom. My son said, call her from my phone because she's not going to pick up from your phone. So he called me, went and picked him up, brought him home, drunk as a skunk. He had a football game the next day.
Oh,
My lesson, and they were in the playoffs. My lesson to him was, for every football you drop, you owe me $100. He's a wide receiver.
Go ahead.
The first one went over. It wasn't even nowhere near him, but it was a lesson. He had to pay me the $100. Every other one, he shot up and grabbed that ball and started running. But I'm saying this to say that as a father to a male, there's something that you teach them that a female can never instill in them.
But what you did there, I will give you props on that because you did something. He's still learning. He's still learning something. You allowed him to call you, so at least he knows. Okay, I'm somewhere, and he didn't be like, "Oh God, I can't call my mother." Get someone else drunk to drive him home, or I don't know if he has a license or whatever. He should drive himself when something happens. Exactly. But you let him know. Listen, and I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna give you the pass. I'm gonna give you the listen. If you're in a situation and you know you cannot get out, your only way out is me. Call me. Don't worry about, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
It is not an issue because you called me. You may not even get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, you got drunk. I can't be
'Cause
that
we've been
person to
drunk.
be
We've been
exactly.
drunk, right?
You can't be like, oh, how could you do that? How could you?
I'm not going to be hypocritical.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done
before.
it. But I'm not going to tell my kids I've done
I'm
it.
not
I'm
gonna-
going to
Yeah.
be there to teach them that lesson.
Yeah.
But even if you do tell them,
Yeah.
tell them in a way that they learn. That you be like,
Yes.
listen, I did
Yeah.
this, and you know what? I stopped. Or even if you didn't,
Mhm.
you know your limits now.
Yeah.
You know, okay,
Yeah,
you know what? Da, 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 da. But you gave him that
Ultimatum.
outlet to you, and he used it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are teaching him something.
Okay.
Right? You may not have sat down there. The strip club one, that's different. I don't expect you to go to a strip club with you. I mean, you can.
Can.
You can. But I'm not expecting that. But when it comes to
How did it do it, boy? Where did that come from?
The Bluetooth. It's Becky.
Oh, it's a...
but when it comes to the smoking and drinking part, you could sit there with if you do that. That's different. If you don't, that's a different story. You can still teach. He can sit there with you and you can watch him and see how much he tolerates and then be like, listen, okay, you need to stop now.
So is
Or if you see him acting a little, starting to act, he doesn't have to get drunk, but you can see like, you know, he was picking up fine. Now all of a sudden it's something, you know, and you'd be like, you see that?
So
Now
I
you need
guess
to
what I'm
cut.
asking you, as 2 males who have children, both males and females, how do you tell a single parent what signs to look out for when they have male children, so that we have an inkling of what we're looking for if they're doing drugs or alcohol from a male's point of view?
For me,
Good question.
yeah, no, it's a very good question.
My kid's not there yet, so it's hard. So I get what
Right.
you're asking.
I think for me, personally, because I know what I experienced and what I went through at certain ages, I would be proactive and go to them first. Because I know at that age you're kind of vulnerable and you're kind of hesitant to go to your parents and ask certain questions. So they may feel uncomfortable to come
Correct.
forth and ask you. So for me personally, when Theo reaches of age, like even right now, like we both know that he has a girlfriend at school, right? But I'll go to him rather than come to him, hey, you know, honestly, what do you think about this girl so and so?
Or even Joseph, who's a
Joseph,
little
that's
bit older.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'd rather be the one to come to them than wait for them. than wait for them to come to me. Right?
Okay, that's a good tip though, because I didn't like the hardest thing for me was when my kids were hitting puberty. and I needed to have that conversation with two males about sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember braiding my son's dreads because he just started dreading. And I'm like, when was the last time you had sex? And he flew out of my hand and then came back and said, we're watching this football game. We are not having this conversation, Mom. So just do my hair and don't ask me anything about that.
And that's fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Some people are different, and some kids are different.
And is it
right?
because I was a female? Because I know it would have been different
Probably.
if he had a male figure in his life and he could have that conversation, right?
No, you're right. You're right. Go ahead.
Obviously, when I grew, I had both parents, but I lived with my mother. My dad didn't live in the house, kind of. But he was around. It's not to say he abandoned me or anything like that, right? I've never had the sex talk with my mother growing up. I don't even think I had a sex talk with either of my parents.
Because that was a generation that didn't have it.
But also,
And with our generation, we kind of watch and absorb. Like I notice I'll watch something. Like I know I can watch something, and take it in, and I'll be like, okay, I know. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Okay. And I notice with my kids, I think now there's none of that.
They're
It's
coming
just
to you at an age and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're like I remember my daughter at 12 asking me, when is it okay to have sex? And I wanted to like drop off the bed and I had to like zone back into my brain and say, so why are you asking me this question, right? Because my mother never talked about that. I learned everything from my friends or from the streets.
yeah.
But this generation, they're
That's
asking
how I
us
learned.
at 5 or 6 years old.
Because one day it's weird. Even though you have all the technology now to keep track of them,
Oh
you don't allow your kids to go anywhere.
Tracking.
But you don't allow them to go anywhere. Like we
We rode
come
the
home
subway.
before the street light. Don't leave this street or what?
Yes,
Like you were given boundaries. You're not supposed. You might have done it. You'll sneak a little bit, but now you don't. Parents don't even want to let their kids go anywhere. But it's like you have a phone that goes with you. There's video on it. You can see where they are. And even still, you're still like, nah, you're not. I don't think I want you to go anywhere.
Right, because we were riding the subway when we were 8 or 9 years old. Your 8 or 9 year old is not riding a bus today without you, right? Because it's a different generation.
But the thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. They should be able to ride a bus now because they have the phone. You can be on the bus with them. Put the phone, put the video on. You can see where they're going. We didn't have that. It was your pay. Once you hung up, it was all hope.
But let me tell you this.
Meeting up with someone, it was all hope.
But Warren might not have seen this. I remember being called to a call at transit, and there was an 11-year-old being sexually assaulted by a man on the bus. My daughter was 12 at the time, and I was freaking out. I took the phone and said to the mother, the bus is coming to the station at this time. I need you to walk to the bus, and I will hand your daughter over to you. And I don't think back when we were growing up and only had to come home when the street lights went on, that kind of stuff was so prevalent as it is today.
I think it was. It's just
We didn't
have
have social media.
And that's what a lot of the thing is now. It's not that stuff didn't go on in our time.
Not
We
as
know
much,
stuff
though.
went on.
No,
But that's why
not as much.
It's not.
No, it
but you
wasn't
hear a
as
lot
much.
But you hear a lot of celebrities say, if social media was out in our time,
Just in
a
a different
lot of the
way.
stuff we
Just
do
in a different way.
wouldn't be seen. And that's what it is. It's just the stuff back then. It wasn't exposed because it was all based on someone with a camera, a professional person following you around, looking for you. Now, any person in the street can film you. You have the phone.
Yeah, it's
Something stupid happens right now.
Yep.
Someone could pop out a phone and do it. Back then, if something stupid happened,
And it's
only
uploaded.
we knew about it.
right, and it's uploaded to social media, and everybody's got their
Instantly.
comments.
Before we even walk
Instantly.
out this backyard,
Right
most
away.
people would know what just happened. If you
Yeah,
did
it's
something
true.
and you put it back
And I
then, you
think
did
that-
it. You had to wait for someone to get it. It be reported, and then it get put in the news. By that time, that person has already made up their story to cover whatever it is that happened.
I call it we're in the microwave generation.
Again, yes.
And
Everything-
it's uploaded.
Very good.
That's how I feel.
We're going to take a little quick introduction here to introduce a very special guest. Bex, welcome to the podcast. Late, but you're here. That's all that matters. That's
I like
all
to
that
say
matters.
fashionably late.
Sorry.
Fashionably.
It's all good.
The
It's all
work
good.
stuff, man.
So to keep
Yeah,
you
we
in the
get it.
loop, right now our topic that we're discussing is, would you take your son to a strip club? When
Or
he's
is it okay for a man to bring his son to
A
a
strip
strip
club.
on his 18th birthday?
Or
And-
smoke.
Or would you smoke or drink with your adult child,
That's right.
adult kid?
So, because I'm always straight up, but I always try to support as best as I can. I don't have kids like you guys do, but remember, I was once a kid too. So I always have to put all this out because people are like, you shouldn't be saying anything at all because you don't have kids. So what would you know?
I get that.
So you can't have.
But you're an auntie.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
see
I.
it,
So
don't
I
you?
always have
Mother.
to put this.
Yes.
Cause knows I always have to put this in the forefront because I get this a lot, even from my own family members, right?
Right.
So, but I think you have to expose them to certain things, and you want them to know that they can do that with you to an extent, but that you don't want to lose that respect. That's where I get concerned with. Like that worries me because if I know I can come to you as my mother and we have a bond,
Right.
I feel more safe. I will trust you more, so then you will know more, and I won't rebel as much or want to do something I shouldn't be doing.
Correct.
Mind you, yes, we fall, we get into things. Yeah, because I do too. And then we get into things we never thought we would be in, but hey, it happens. You get up, you learn, you grow, and you move on. So it's always hard for me to answer this question because I would want to have that relationship that where we should go together. But then the respect has to also be there. That's my parent, and that understanding. So can you have both? Like
You can.
No, of course.
You can.
But it's not like you're going all the time. It's just for their 18th birthday.
I don't know if I'd go on the 18th.
Maybe not you, but
I
if
think
you
I
were
would
married,
wait
you had the
till-
husband.
yeah, I
would you be okay if he said, "I'm taking our son
I don't think
to the strip club"?
I don't think 18 should be the age.
19, whatever the
More
legal age is.
older, a little bit more older, because you'd want to talk about things. You'd want to go, have discussions about things. I think 18 might be too early.
We'll say 19 because we'll say 9. We'll go 19
Let's say 21.
because you can drink at
Okay.
19. Okay.
21.
So maybe then, yes.
Well, I understand say 19 because over here is 19.
Right.
That's the reason I said 19. I'm just running with that. And the only reason I say at 19 is because if you do wait the next few years, they might have already gone.
And you're correct. And that's the other
Right.
point. Yes, you're correct. So that way, I even still want to have that open relationship, even though they might have gone already. They might have done
Yeah.
whatever. But I want to be able to also have that open relationship with them too, right? So they can feel comfortable and safe, but then not, as we say, take their eyes and pass you, right?
Yeah. You know what I would say then? The perfect solution would be, it's not even the 18th birthday. Just be like, listen, when you want to, first time you're ready, come to me.
Legal age.
So it doesn't have to be 19. It doesn't have to be 20.
The
they
legal
might
age.
be
The
like, they
legal
might-
age.
You're right. The legal age.
obviously illegal. I'm saying
Yeah.
if it's not on that day, maybe they didn't even want to on that day, but you just be like, listen, the first time you're ready to experience strip club, drugs, not drugs. Let me say weed, alcohol. Come to me first. I want us to do. I was trying to tell them. I don't know if you weren't here right here, but I want your first experience to be with me, so I can at least gauge maybe what you can tolerate, and I can tell you, and I can kind of educate you on what you're doing. Because if you do it with friends, you're all the same age.
So what if you
They're
don't
going
do
to be
that?
ignorant
I
to
would
it,
have wanted
and they're going
that,
to tell
but
you
I could
keep
never go
drinking.
to my mom.
Okay, well, what
Even
if you don't
now-
do that? What if the father don't do that weed or whatever, right? Don't do any of that stuff. Then
Then
what? Then how would you know how to gauge
if
him?
I have a friend that I know and I trust, or it could be another family member that you trust. Hey, listen, you want to experience this? Go to your uncle, or you want to experience this? Come to me. Come to me.
Basically,
I will
what
put.
you're saying is, as long as it's in a controlled environment.
I want them to be controlled when they first do it, because if you're out of control when you do it, you're gonna think this is my. You go with your friends. As I said, your friends are not gonna. Most of them If they're doing the same, they're not stopping you because they're gonna go. They want you to keep going.
Right.
As long as they can keep
wanna
going,
do it as a joke,
and
too.
they don't know
Like,
you're tolerating.
You're funny. And
Yeah.
I'm videotaping it and I'm uploading it.
And they know
Okay.
you're already spent. Oh yeah, keep feeding you more.
So
keep feeding
what
you more.
if you are not about that life and you are a Christian person
I will find
and
someone.
you only know of the Bible inside and out?
Well, then I'll be teaching them that.
Then and they come and say,
Yeah.
Mom, I want to go to I'm gonna go with my friends to a strip club. Or father, what do you do with that situation when you are trying to gauge your kids
I'm-
to be in this
And I'm not
Christian
stopping them?
environment?
I'm not. I'm,
okay,
obviously, if I'm the Christian, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try and stop them.
You're
Okay.
gonna try
But
to
if they
stop
don't-
them, they're gonna do it
Yeah.
anyway. So if they're going to do it, it actually needs to be in a controlled environment. Because
So
let
then
me
you're a
tell you
hypocrite
that.
to be
No,
then
I
you're
will
a
find someone.
hypocrite.
Like I said, I
It's
will
not a
find
hypocrite
someone. It's
because
not
here's the
hypocrite
thing.
because they're doing it regardless. As you
Kids
said.
that are raised in strictly Christian households tend to
Rebel.
rebel 100 times more because we're not
Especially when they're
having
legal.
those real life conversations with them, and they're the ones that end up on drugs, addicted to this, into pornography, and other kind of spirits that we now need to pray off of them, right? So we
Because
need
they've been
to.
held in shelters so
I'm
long.
I'm a Christian
bottled up.
parent, but at the end of the day, I still need to listen to what my kids are going through because they're gonna do it anyways. I need to be able to control what it is they're doing. So I'd rather them tell me than going out there with Tom, Dick, and Harry and ending up on A, B, C, D, E and on Skid
Yeah.
Road,
Yeah.
and
And
I
having
had no
them trust
control
you.
of it.
Good point.
But the thing is good you're like that because even now with my mom, it's so funny because a few days ago, there was a movie that came on and I said, Mom, I couldn't watch this. Even now, I said to her, I couldn't watch this movie or these types, certain movies with you. I cannot watch. And she, at one point, she didn't understand. And then she said, wait, you know what? Yeah, I understand where you're going because you respect me. So how could I even say, Mom, let's go to this? Because my mom's Christian too. She wouldn't, obviously she doesn't do that stuff. And so I could never say, Mom, let's go, right? So there's a certain respect too that
But here's
comes
the problem.
from that too.
You can't be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with the church. That we're so up in the clouds that we can't deal with reality. And our kids are falling by the wayside. The most amount of divorces are in the church because people are getting married to have sex and they don't know about the person that they're with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we need to kind of change that narrative.
Or
Yeah.
you're pressured the other way to do good, as I was, because you had no room. You couldn't do anything bad because my sister, my brother, they did that. So I felt terrible for my
But are they
parents.
happy right now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Point
no.
proven.
There you
But
go.
where I'm at now, I've had my rough patches. Yeah, we're always gonna have that. I'm healing. I'm growing. But I'm more happier now than I ever was
There you
than
go.
before, because I've learned it was rough. It sucked. Still, but you're learning and you're growing, and you're happy now compared to where you were before. But
And I
they're-
think
know
we
they're
need
not.
to teach
They're
our
not.
children how to be their authentic selves.
Mhm.
Not what we want. Yes, we
And I
want the
wish
very
my
best
mom
for
was
them,
like that,
Yeah.
but we can't force them into something that they don't want to
No.
do because then they become rebellious.
Of course.
And
then
we want to still have that healthy relationship with our kids. Like my kids will call me for anything. Like I have my middle child. God knows he taught me how to pray. But you know what? Anything happens, I'm the first person he's
Oh.
calling. It's on speaker and I know what's
That's what
happening.
you want.
And
That's
that's
what
what I
you-
want.
exactly.
I want to know what's
Joseph
happening
was like
in the
that.
moment.
and I love that, and I wish I try to do that too with my mom and whatnot, but it gets difficult because there's certain things. She even said, we almost had an argument that, I named Mother. I said, Mom, but I'm an adult now. We should be able to have these adult.
yeah.
I'm not a kid. I'm always going to be your child, and that's how I understand you guys are going to always be. We're always your kids. I get that forever.
not
It
a
doesn't
kid.
stop.
I'm
But
not
I'm
a
not a
kid.
kid. I'm like, Mom, I'm an adult. We need to be able to have these discussions because I'm an adult now. But she's like, no, I name Mom, so you can't say certain things.
Right.
She listens to me sometimes more so than my sister and brother because of how I talk. I don't cuss or yell or do say, so sometimes she hears, but she still has this persona, and I wish she was more like you, where it's her way or no way kind of thing, and Cuz knows too.
But okay, so the
Hold on,
two of you,
sorry,
the
do
three
you-
of you
do
have
you-
children.
Do you think that stems from her relationship
Oh,
with her
but-
mother?
oh
Yes.
yeah, there's trauma
Okay.
upon trauma,
Okay.
generational
Okay.
Yes.
stuff. And
Okay.
I said, Mom, this has to break.
That's
I tried to
right.
break certain
That's
So
things.
the
right.
three of you, your adult children come to you and say, you know what, I'm struggling with alcohol or weed. What are you saying?
I'm going to talk to him straight up. Struggling how?
Addiction.
Sorry?
You.
An addiction.
If they come to me and telling me that they're struggling, and what did they need from me?
Yeah, in terms, you're struggling in what
Yeah.
terms?
Right.
Exactly.
So you're
So
struggling
you
with
need-
alcohol or weed, and
Addiction.
with an addiction, and I'm coming to you, and mom, dad, I need your help. This is what I'm struggling with. Like, as a Christian, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm getting the help he needs. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to actually research all the things that he needs to know on what's going to happen with this addiction and what's the outcome if he continues. Right? I mean, it's just.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
My apologies. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Y'all talk about the same children, so
Right, I know. Right?
I'm done.
I hope your answers are
I know.
almost the
It's
same.
like, what the heck? I'm done.
Well,
You're talking.
no. Well, I think I wouldn't pull religion into it. I'll be honest with you.
No, not religion.
No, because I'm saying because she's more of a devout Christian.
Yes.
That's
where
why.
you
So
are,
for
you're
me,
a Christian, but she's a devout Christian, right? So you might have two completely different answers.
but
That's
you
right.
need to separate religion though, because that's what's causing a lot of the issues. It's
But-
your
Girl,
relationship with God. That's what it is. So,
But-
and that's what I really pry on, because if it wasn't for God getting me through all this and the people He's placed in my life
Yep.
and the situations He's placed as well, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
100%.
I have to give God all the praise
100%.
because then I will continue no matter what anybody tells me.
1,000%.
But do I go to church? I'm admitting it, no. But I listen online,
That's
and I can
things.
still get the same things, right? But my mom, she still throws those things at me. Cause knows, mom's always throwing these remarks at me because she knows she can get me compared to my sister and my brother who will tell her off, right? So yeah, it's not about religion. That's what's messing a lot of people
100%.
up.
And
Yeah.
that's why I said I wouldn't automatically resort back to, well, this is what the Bible says. I would keep that separate. I would be point blank, well, you know what? You're going to continue down this path. This is where your health is going to be. This is where you're going to be in 2 years. This is where you're going to be in 5 years. This is where you're going to be in 10 years, right? So I would automatically go to the health aspect of it. Because at that age, they're not really receiving to the religious or the biblical aspect of
I
it
know
at
what-
such a young age.
I-
They're more or less looking at it like, okay, well, why are you so concerned? Like, well, I'm concerned about your health. You want to be here for this amount of time? Let's talk about how it's going to affect. Let's talk about how it's going to affect your heart. Let's talk about
That's
how it's
right.
going to affect your brain.
Research it. Yes.
Let's do some research on how it
on
affects
how
you.
it's going to affect you.
Once they grasp that, hopefully if they grasp that, then I can ease into, you know what, also, it's, the Bible says you're not supposed to indulge in so much alcohol, you know what I mean? And it's also a sin against your body if you're indulging it so much. But I wouldn't go right
No,
away
I'm not
into the religious
saying-
aspect of it.
Yeah. But then I'm always gonna come out with wanting to pray with you, wanting to,
Right.
cover you because that's what it is. And if you're laying that foundation as the child grows, yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna might fall in, fall out, but you're hoping that for train up the way a child should go, and he will not depart. He will never. So hopefully they'll come back to it, right? At some point.
That's right.
And then understand, and you mix the physical health aspects and then mental health aspects. Our parents don't understand that mental health. Like, what are you? Even this show yesterday. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's called, and you're gonna be like, what the heck? I started watching Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters. It's on BET, and this one girl on there, she was like, "Well, your generation and this mental health and addictions." She was going on and on that like it wasn't an issue. So I like the fact that you guys are bringing this into the situation because it is a huge issue.
Absolutely. And let's not be, again, naive to the fact that if we're not teaching our kids, guess who's teaching it?
It's
Media.
getting worse.
Social
and this is
media.
the next part of the
and
generation.
the school system.
And the school
Oh,
system.
yeah.
The
That-
school system is 100%
Yeah.
Yeah.
teaching our kids because they're majority of the time
with
they're
them.
there and then they come home to us. So whatever they're feeding our kids is what they're learning,
100%.
and they have a full they have this program of what they're already teaching the kids from generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's hard for us now to kind of control that when they're already being controlled.
And guess what? If we speak up and we tell our kids, don't listen to that, or that's not
It's
right,
already been-
that's not right, guess what happens? They go back to the school and say, my mommy and daddy said that this is...
And then
You have
they're
to,
controlling
because
our
it's
kids.
their your roof, they're living under. My mom, we tried that. Oh, and she set us straight. You go, you call the police, then they're gonna take you
That's
away.
right.
You're never gonna come
And
back.
that's what
You're
they're
gonna be
teaching our
raped, You're gonna
kids.
be, all these things are gonna
Don't know
happen.
And then they complain.
No,
Told
I
our
would
kids
tell
that.
Then
them
they
that. I don't care
complain
what anybody tells
when
me.
the kids are doing these things now in real life outside of school and they're stealing.
They're undisciplined.
They're behaving
They're undisciplined, yeah.
Because now, well, mom and dad can't be me, and they already know that. And they do all the things that they know they're not supposed to do.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They are not controlled by it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
They're
This-
controlled by the government.
They
I
kind
always
of spoil
think-
themselves.
Yeah, the
You
foundational,
go
the fundamentals
what
that we
happens to you.
instill in our children from their young
Yeah.
is what portrays when they get older.
Yeah.
So even if they go astray, they're gonna come back and remember
I
what
just
we
said
instilled
that.
in them.
Yeah, from the Bible.
But
too.
but I want to
But how
ask.
can we steal when we're working all the time and trying to pay for mortgage, pay for rent, pay for food when we're busy and we can't do all this stuff?
Beat them, yes.
Because we are busy taking care of them.
But here's
You remember that?
Here's,
Oh,
here's
I
what
got,
I
we got
found.
the beat.
I don't want those licks
As
again.
the
No,
older
I'm gonna
person
say
on
you
this,
were
I'm the
able to
older
do
person
that.
on this panel.
You should.
That
bomb,
no matter
you can hit them. Yeah.
how they strayed by their friends or association, they
Or
always
school.
remembered the fundamentals. Like I worked 2 jobs. I had to work 2 jobs in order to get them through rep whatever sports they were playing in. But now that they're in their 30s, that's grounded in them and I see them coming back.
Yeah.
I see them coming back to what was instilled in them. And we just have to believe that as parents, we've done the right thing. Some of them aren't going to take what we did.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be the opposite of this. Your generation, it was a lot easier. You see now with these young ones having kids, they're not there for the kids. They're not even there to say a word or say, "Hey, you know what? You shouldn't do this." They're at work working, busting their butt because they cannot afford to sit here and teach your kids because they have to go out there and work 2
They're
jobs.
sitting there doing nothing. You're wondering what the heck they're doing all day.
They're
but I can't say
working.
anything.
But
The
then
parents
as
are
parents, but then
working.
as parents, as grandparents, we have to step into some of that gap.
That's what
But you
that's
can't sometimes because if the parent doesn't allow that, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying sometimes the parents, they don't let you do anything. They're particular. So this is
Then you beat that parent and then you beat your grandchild right after.
Because my mom tries with my niece. My mom tries with my niece, but the mother is and again, I'm not trying to discriminate or downplay or whatever, but I'm honest. Some parents don't do anything.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there. You're wondering what they're doing, and then my brother's doing things one side, but he can only do so much because then you're there. What are you doing?
And I think here's the problem. We were raised in a generation where our parents beat the daylights out of
You
us.
feared your parent.
Got it.
You feared your parent more than the cops.
Right, and then we became the generation was like, I'm not gonna beat my
Yeah,
children. They
yeah.
have an opinion and blah blah blah. So we went too far the other way. We need to be somewhere in the middle.
No, I want to beat my children. I had to get it. No, you got to experience. One time I'm giving you, at some point I got to give you an experience.
you gotta fear me
Nah.
somewhere or the other.
No, I'm not talking, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about abuse.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not,
pinch you under the arm right here so nobody sees it, but you're gonna know what you did was wrong.
listen,
Now
I
you
tell my
pinch
kids.
them and go like, she's pinching me.
Because they know what they can get away with. That's why.
That's my point.
You know what it
Because
is too. You got to.
the school system trains them to do that. They teach them because like if you tell your kids nothing about that, right? You're at home, they're with you the whole time. You go to school, they go to school now. What do you think they're teaching the kids? You know, if you
Parents
at
can't
home,
do this to you.
your
They can't
parents
do that. They
do
can't do this. Yep.
And and you didn't tell your kids, hey, don't say nothing.
But you see, but you see how I counter that? Is I tell them when they're home. Listen,
That's right.
That's it.
you want to call thing? Go ahead. You're gonna go with them, and you know what? It's gonna be worse because
That's
you know what?
right.
They're gonna put you in a foster
That's
home. They're gonna
right.
put you in a home. No, we tell them straight up what's going to happen. It's not a sugar coat of no. They're gonna put you in another family, and it's gonna be worse than what you're feeling right now over here.
And I think
You
the
gotta-
problem is we need to do correction with love. Right? Not like our parents who used to beat us and say, we all
No,
qualify.
I don't beat my kids.
Right.
Listen, I threaten my daughter with, I'll be like, you want licks? No. Then listen, or else that's what you're going to get.
Right, but we have to have those conversations because part of the problem in 2025 is the school is raising our kids.
Yes.
We need to be responsible
To your
parents
point.
Yeah.
and raise our children.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
the school shouldn't be telling our kids about that. We should be saying this is what it is, and instilling that in them before they learn it in school.
Yeah.
And that is the problem with this generation. The school system is teaching our kids what it is, and we're not stepping up to do what we need to do.
And the thing, it's not even that they're just, I get it. You want to teach them about same sex in a sense that it happens. But like I said, there's books that are like this images of sexual images, and like they're going into it as if like you're talking, like these are not teenagers. These are little kids growing up, fully alive.
Fully alive. I was about to say
Fully
that.
alive. And you know what the biggest thing in there was? Seeing the reproductive system drawn. You seen the drawn penis or the vagina or whatever, and that was like, oh my God. Or you might have seen a breast because of breastfeeding or something, and that was such a big deal. Like you saw, it wasn't even a real penis. It was the drawing of a one, like the outline and the skeleton of one or something. And the vagina, and they're like, oh my God, look, it's the vagina. Oh. Now you putting books with two men or two women dudes and showing the position and all that. It's like, no, why are you showing that to kids? These are kids. Kids don't even. When I was a kid, your biggest thing was holding the hand of a girl. That was huge. You got a kiss. Oh my gosh, you were the greatest. It was the greatest day of your life.
And it's almost as and I could be wrong. I'm not a teacher, so if the teachers out there that might find this miseducated or misguided, but it's almost as if you're teaching a kid, this color is blue, this is a fruit, this is a vegetable, this is bread. And if you're showing somebody an image of two men or two women kissing, they're almost saying that this is right. You know what I mean? Or this is what normal is. When in actuality, if you're going off of religion, if you're going off of what it's we're made to
it's
be.
not even religion. It's more like it's what's
To
the
keep
norm.
the
It's
world
to
functioning,
keep functioning. Yeah,
you
you
need
need
man
to be a
and
woman.
woman
You
to
can't
get
teach a
together.
woman to have a baby.
But here's the problem. A lot of the teachers who are teaching our kids or our grandchildren are actually not heterosexual. And that is the problem, because we're not having those deep conversations with our kids at home before they're indoctrinated into what their lifestyle is.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes,
There are teachers out there that actually are heterosexual that don't want to teach that curriculum, but because they want to save face and keep their job, they have to teach that.
Yeah.
So maybe you may know
Catholic
some that are of that ilk,
Catholic schools work.
but some of them actually don't want to teach that.
But they have no choice. They are. It's like mandatory.
Yeah, if you teach it,
Right,
then
because
you don't work.
I know a child that went to school, and they were like, I came in a Christian home and there's male and female, and she's like, well, I'm a female and I have a female as a partner, and failed the child because they didn't want to adopt that lifestyle. And as parents, if we don't challenge that in the school, then our children are falling behind to this new way of life.
Since we've been out of the school system for many years, what were they teaching you on the come up? Because when you were in elementary school, these grown-ass people were probably our kids and stuff. So, I mean, maybe they didn't start yet with the LGBT stuff yet.
Yeah, no,
They didn't?
I
Okay.
wasn't learning any of that.
Okay, so it's more reason like right now is what they're doing. Okay, so it was just strictly man, woman they were teaching, or did they teach you about?
Like
the
actually
LGBT?
in my school, they actually like didn't teach us properly. Like they kind of like it wasn't like really like the main thing that they wanted to teach us. It was just like a one day of like that like sex ed class or whatever, and then it was like
If you don't mind me asking, was it a public school? Was it a
yeah, it was a public
School?
school.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a different aspect. I went Catholic school, so
yeah.
I know the two different things. Okay.
Oh, we're not. I know we have to move on to another topic, but we're not hiding from. We didn't answer our question, by the way, regarding the strip club and whatever. So, before we move on to the next topic, real quickly, do you want to answer first? But a half? Do you want to answer first?
Are you allowing him to take at 19
Okay.
or whatever age when if he ever ready, if he wants to, would you allow him?
Okay.
Okay.
So you let him go on his own? Because he's going.
hold on. Do you want to answer yes or no? Okay. So I would actually,
Theo.
if Theo came to me and he was inquisitive or asking Dad, I want to go to a strip club. My first answer would be, okay, why?
Oh, okay.
Why would you want to go?
Why?
Why would you want to go?
Cause I want to see titties and ass.
Okay.
Grown titties and ass, Daddy. That's what I want to see.
And it's my birthday.
And it's my birthday.
That's cool.
It's the first
So-
time I get to see some live titties in my face.
So here's the honest answer, and I'm gonna give the honest answer.
Yes.
If that's what he wants to do
And really wants.
and really wants to do, I'm gonna go with him.
Oh.
And here's the thing. Here's the
Oh,
reason.
no, you ain't.
Here's the reason why.
So you wanted to go with
Here's the reason
I'm
why.
coming with you.
No, no, you're not. No, you're not. And here's the reason why.
no, you're not.
No,
Oh,
you're not.
yes. Why not?
No, you're not.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but I have a good answer for that.
Okay.
But hold on.
Hold on, let's hear the answer.
Wait.
Let me hear the answer.
But hold on.
You're in a Fox and Den. Let me go ahead. Go ahead.
But I have a good answer for that. The reason why I would go with him is because I actually went on my birthday.
Not with your mama and dad, huh? Okay.
Nope. I went by myself to a strip club in Rexdale, Manhattan Strip.
Oh my God, that's not a strip club.
Don't knock. But here you go. Let me expunge on that.
I can see why you went there.
All right then. Let me expunge on that.
See why you went.
So I went there, right? Because A, like we all talked about already, didn't have a father figure in the house. No one talked to me or educated me on that aspect of it, right? My mother obviously warned me, these things are unacceptable. But
Jazz is here.
that's fine.
It's okay. She gotta grow up too.
But hold
She's
on,
growing up right now.
hold on a second. I'm getting to that point. So at the age of 18, I went to probably, as I consider now, one of probably the worst clubs that you could possibly think of going. The worst, probably. So I went in. So I went in there by myself. Not only did I make the cardinal sin.
I know why you went by yourself.
Not only did I make the cardinal
You don't
sin.
want to be seen
of-
dead.
Not only did I make the cardinal sin of ordering food, I ordered a steak.
Yo,
I ordered fries.
Okay.
Yo, you were brand fresh. This guy
And I'm like,
this guy knew nothing.
yeah.
He knew nothing about strip clubs. Yeah,
And
I
guess
get
what?
that.
Guess what? I had $10 of coins and change, so I left a $10 on the main all by myself at 18 years old.
Bro.
So when I came back, when I went to the club, and I remember bragging to my friends, I think I was back.
laughing at him.
There you go. I remember bragging to my friends, yo, what'd you feel? Yo, I went to the strip club, I went to Manhattan. You went to Manhattan Strip?
That's what they laughed at.
And
Not
you-
that you went to a strip club by
and
yourself.
It's
where you went.
And you, that too. And you ordered food. I'm like, yeah. And then
That too.
slowly it came to me like, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? But if I had and this goes out to all those people, not to be embarrassed, but if you had a man figure, right, that said, you know what, listen, do you want to go there? You want to spend money? You want to see how stupid?
Let's go here instead.
Let's go here. Let's go here instead. Let's go to the flea market. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the movie. No. And my mom did the best job she could possibly do. But as to your point, when you're in a household or you go to a school that's very strict, at some point in time, you're going to want to rebel.
You want to know
What else is
they're
out there,
stopping
right?
you from.
And
That's the curiosity.
That's
Why
right.
can't I do that? Why
and
don't
then
you want me to do this?
when I was legally able to, I used that as an advantage,
Yeah.
as a reason.
Can't stop you now.
There you go. But looking back, I would much rather have someone of a male figure. Really, is that where you want to go? Or let's do this instead. I didn't have that. So that's why at this point, if Theo came to me and said, Dad, I want to experiment, I'm like, is that what you want to do? Or do you want to do something else? I mean, if you want to go, I'll show you what it's not really what it's up to be.
That's what it's pent up to be.
What it's
right?
pent up to
Yeah.
be, right? But I would rather him come to me rather than me say, hey, son, let's go to a strip club. You're 18, 19.
No. I wasn't saying you
Right,
take
and-
them. If, obviously, if they want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to be the first person they go, or at
That's
least
right.
be able to like.
Because God forgive if they go by themselves and they have my experience.
Because I remember the first
I
time I
will
went
go.
to a strip club, it was a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Green, fresh, didn't know anything that was going
And
on.
how old are you?
Ended up, I think I was 21. Ended up at this, and I was like, what the hell? I wasn't even a Christian at the time, but I was so mortified about the entire experience that I was like, I don't even belong here. Had I been with a female, an older female figure at the time, it would have been completely different because they would have been able to, like you said, point certain things out. Have I ever been back to one? Hell no. Because I was like, oh my gosh, that is so gross. This is disgusting and this is completely nasty. But my boys growing up, would I want a male figure to have that real conversation with them? Absolutely. Because the only thing I could say was, don't double up the condoms, don't use Life brands, and make sure it's Trojan. I don't even know if I'm right. I'm just like, this is the proper brand that I know of, and that's it. But am I gearing them up in the right way? Probably not. And that's why I say to women, if there's a male figure in the life, even if the father's a deadbeat, make him still have that conversation with your son.
That's right.
Because you're not doing justice.
That's right.
Yeah.
We didn't get your answer, better half. We didn't get your answer.
Oh no, I'm gonna roll up the.
She said she's going with you guys.
I will roll
Listen,
up
I got a solution for you guys.
at the club.
Like I said,
And I
Fox
was
is dead.
embarrassed,
They
but
got
Jesus
men,
out of
women.
her.
It's split. She go upstairs with Pete. You go downstairs with.
Would you?
And you're good.
Would you have? Okay, so
If
would
you-
you?
I
Would
don't
you?
think you want to
Would
switch,
you?
but-
Would you wait for Palia to come to you, or would you say?
Yeah, ladies, if you had daughters and they wanted to go,
I'm
would
not
you?
going. I would not want her to be going to no.
So she's
club.
she's
But she's gonna go.
She's 20. She's 20.
I wouldn't go up to
No,
my
but you're a
mother and
different
start
generation.
asking my.
You're a different
even
generation.
now, I couldn't even do that.
Palia is a different
Palia is a
generation.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Bachelor,
you're right.
they call it bachelorette for girls.
Yeah.
Bachelorette party. When Palia gets married, right? I'm assuming
Or she's going- or a friend of hers is
You're gonna
going to one.
partake in it, and
Right?
they're gonna go to a and Palia wants you to go. Or would you say, Palia, let's go out here for your bachelorette? Would that be one of your choices to go to?
My decision?
Yes.
It won't be the club.
Well, okay, her the
I will bring a stripper to the home. Keep your penis in your drawers. Shake whatever booty you got, but you ain't taking that out. Period.
Okay.
I will bring the stripper to the home.
Okay. On whose budget?
Ours.
I'm not paying for no male.
I'm not paying for no male
stripper. Coming in some cop uniform.
Hey, you want to live once?
stupid.
Yeah, live once and die quick. All right.